Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's grand finals time for the MSP for Split 3. I'm Taylor Reflections Noble, joined by Guy Blaze, and I was on the edge of my seat for those last two matches Jacob and Colin had to cast. Of course, Rise versus VQ. Rise had their way, let's be honest with you, in VQ, but then VQ turns things around and just decimates and dominates Fire and Ice, and they don't look like the same team that lost to Rise earlier, Blaze.
No, Taylor, they did not look like the same team that lost to Rise earlier. I don't know what VQ we saw in that matchup, but they look more like themselves going up against Fire and Ice in that loser bracket finals. But we saw two great matchups, and the teams who had to play, I think every team who had to play their first match today lost it. Oh, no, never mind. Spy Gaming won. Take that back. Spy Gaming did come out today with a victory. Spy Gaming
did win.
But outside of that one, you know, VQ took their first loss, FNI took their first loss, and it was one and done. And that sucks sometimes because, you know, when it comes down to Championship Sunday, you just have to find a way to properly warm up in the morning before those first series comes, because you only get one opportunity and you have to be able to come in as your best self. I think we will see VQ's best self here in this grand finals now.
I mean, I hope so. They've made a great run. They've had a good performance. We talked about their skill ceiling. Have they even reached the peak? Well, at this point, they need to reach the peak and quickly, because Rise is looking unstoppable. But hey, Acells doesn't want to lose. He made that very apparent against Fire and Ice without question. So we'll see how well he's going to play as, once again, they get that rematch versus Rise. But let's talk about our format heading into grand finals, Blaze, because we are going to switch it up from the previous tournament.
Okay.
Of course, the biggest change, best of 9. This is going to be the literal gauntlet, ladies and gentlemen. So best of 9 means you have to win 5 total maps to become the champion. The winner's bracket team, in this case would be Rise, begins with a 1-0 map advantage. And the way the pick and ban process works, this is also very important. The winner's bracket team will choose to act as team A or team B, and that's pretty normal during the map ban process. But where Rise gets a big advantage is they get to ban 1 control map and 1 execution map. So they get 2 total bans, which means they should have a competitive edge against that of VQ.
Yeah, and you know, we have an 11 map cycle, so we'll end up playing all the other ones if we do go to distance. Our 3 escalation maps and our other 3 execution and control maps that we have in our cycle. So I'm curious to see which ones Rise are going to ban. Who knows? Maybe they may get Canals out of here. And if I'm Rise, I'm taking control. I'm taking reactor control out.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely taking reactor control, because VQ is a phenomenal reactor control team. We've seen that in the past. It you know, plays and caters to their wolfpacking style, plus their ability to really excel in those team fights. Rise is a team through and through. You know, we love to see them pace out fights with their Lancer Fire, Snubfire. They've always been an educated team. But in terms of reactor, it's all about brute force, and VQ has more brute force, in my opinion, than that of Rise. So I would definitely get reactor out. But I think we do have our pick and bans ready to go, and I would love to take a look at them, because kill the suspense. You said take out Canal's execution. Honestly, I think Rise would do great on Canal's execution. So let's take a look at it. I guess Canal's isn't there. You were right, but what do we see that's interesting? Regency control.
Either. Yeah, so Canals and Reactor are not there. Those were the 2 maps that were gone, and as we can see in the bottom left of the screen. So smart moves by Rise, but as we look at this cycle and how it stacks up from front to bottom, Regency control, we know how dominant and how strong Rise has been on this map in game mode, Taylor. Then we move on over towards their best map and possibly the best team at Clocktower execution that we have throughout all our professional squads. Then we move on over. This is going to be a good one for VQ. This is a must win for VQ, if you ask me. And then they move on towards district control. So the first 4 maps in this cycle, 1 and 2, I'm leaning for Rise. 3 and 4, I'm leaning for VQ. Now, it's a best of 5. Rise can sweep that, but if they don't and we continue the distance there, these remaining maps at the back end of the cycle, I don't see Vascar Escalation in the picture, so that's one map
which is good for Rise.
Yeah, and that's just one map that just won't. Yeah, that won't be there, so that's cool. But check out Harbor Training Grounds Tomb. If we get there, Taylor, in this best of 9 series, we'll break those down then. But we're going to focus on the first 4 maps for now. If it's tied up 3-2 at a point on a score line, I'm pretty sure we're all going to be in the edge of our seats for that second half of this grand finals.
Yeah, definitely. So, this is looking like a good opportunity for Rise to take grand finals within the first 4 maps. And that's the reason why you said we needed to focus on it. When it comes to Regency control, Rise has already beat that of VQ. And in fact, VQ hasn't necessarily been historically a strong Regency control team. They have struggled on that map against various other opponents. Even if they're getting wins, they're not getting dominant wins that you expect Vanquish to get over certain teams. You look at Clocktower execution, I agree with you. I mean, hands down, everybody should know this by this point. Clocktower execution is Rise's bread and butter. They're phenomenal on that map. DeToX is your back pillar player. He's great. Training Grounds Escalation, that's where VQ is going to have the chance to strike back. They've already beat Rise on that map 5-3. We know Rise isn't the strongest Escalation team in general. Maybe on Harbor, but not on TG or Vascar. So at least for that one, that's where VQ could strike back. In the District Control, again, another great map for the boys of Rise. They've already beat VQ on that map earlier, 300 to 263, relatively close, but still, I have more faith in Rise's teamwork and team fire on District, which is critical, than I do of VQ. So again, because they start with a 1-0 advantage, the first 4 maps, I think they can clear or be just 1 map away from taking a victory. So I think this is going to be a solid start for Rise.
Yeah, it is going to be a solid start for Rise, okay? For them to be able to have this 1 map lead, I think that was essential for them in his grand finals, to be able to have that cushion. We have never seen and actually I'm going back on this one because it may have happened during our fall major. Actually, I think Rise fell short there, but I was going to say we've never seen Rise come through from the winner side of the bracket and have that cushion there and have that lead. And that's something that they're going to need. You got 2 players on their squad who this is their first grand finals, okay?
That's right.
That's going to be DeToX and Avexys. Now, luckily for them, they got 2 players who almost three-peated in the beginning of Gears of War 5, 1 round away, but they were back-to-back champions, and that's in Rushiez and Icy. And don't forget, Icy was a part of that After Gaming Dynasty back in Gears of War 4, so he knows what it takes to be in these type of scenarios. And DeToX and Avexys is going to need that type of comfort and leadership and brotherhood coming from both of those players, as I'm expecting them to really set the pace towards this grand finals. Now, on the flip end, you got the core 3 of Vanquish, Hndles, Precision, Acells, your winners of our winter major to kick off the season. And so, when it comes down to that squad, they've been here plenty of times before, but this is Zaisho's debut in the grand finals as well. And I'm going to be very excited to see what his performance is going to be.
And the first time Rise has found their way in grand finals in general for Gears 5 competitive in a tournament, right? They haven't been there in a major. They weren't there in the last MSP. This MSP, they find themselves here. So this is great for Rise in general. Let's talk about our predictions. A lot to break down when it comes to Rise and VQ, and more that I want to talk about. But we got a best of 9, so we have plenty of time to talk about Rise and VQ. I'm going with Rise off the rip. They've already beat VQ.
Okay,
I gotta bet with Ice and DeToX. DeToX has been absolutely insane. Icy's been superhuman. Now, I know Acells has been as well, but I don't think Rise can be beat. Their momentum's been incredible. They're, at least in terms of yesterday and today, they are the most consistent team we have seen as of yet. So I've got to back them up. I'm going with Rise. Blaze, who are you going with?
Man, that's a good pick, Taylor, because Rise, they have only lost 2 maps throughout the entirety of this tournament. And actually, I think both those maps was Vascar Escalation, and it's not going to be in this cycle. So that goes good for them there. And with a 100% win rate on all the other maps like that, this is really in favor of Rise with them being in the grand finals for the first time. But because it's the first time, I can't go with them. I have to go with VQ. Okay, I got to go with this squad here. I talked about the big 3 of Hndles, Precision, and Acells, and this being Zaisho's first grand finals. I'm expecting him to rise up to the occasion. I think Zaisho has been thinking about this moment for a very long time, for him to get his first chip, and he probably never thought he'll be here. Probably this soon, but he knows that with this squad, this is his best chance to do it, and he knows how big this moment is going to be. I think VQ is prepared. I think we didn't see the VQ in the first series against Rise like we just saw them against Fire and Ice, and they're going to give them a run for their money and make them earn their first chip if Rise wants it. If not, VQ will be the first team to repeat.
You give some great points. You were hyping up Rise so much, I thought you were going with them for sure, but then you switch gears and go over towards VQ, but your justification is correct. And look, VQ is a solid pick as well.
in my past with picking Rise in these scenarios don't usually go well for him, so I'm not gonna pick him.
Well, you know, same thing for me with VQ.
Let me down this weekend, but you know, at the end of the day, nah, you know, Rise, they're gonna have to earn this one.
Well, all right, Chad, who are you going with? You going VQ or Rise? You guys got to be torn, be both ways. I mean, going with Rise, but see, they're going off the historical stats, right? They're going off of Rise performance throughout MSP. You know, like you said, multiple maps, 100% win rate. Fair enough. I sent out a tweet, Blaze, earlier, and I said, you know what? They tell me to vote against Rise because that means, or excuse me, VQ, and the VQ is going to win. You know, they tell me to, you know, vote for VQ because then they're going, you know, I don't know, but every time I vote for VQ, they lose, right? I voted for VQ to beat Rise earlier, they lost. And then I voted for F&I to beat VQ, and then VQ won. And it's like, now I'm voting against them, and I'm scared because I'm like, that I just jinx Rise. I don't know. I don't hold the controller, but I'm telling you, my stat line for betting against or with VQ, just, it's terrible.
Acells tells me that he does not lose when I cast against him, and I'm his good luck charm.
Did he say that? Okay.
Yeah, he told me that. So we will see if that holds true, folks, as we're heading into map number 1 of our grand finals. It's Regency, Vanquish versus Rise. Let it be known in the chat who you want to win. As we're kicking this one off, both teams taking their time. No power weapons acquired just yet. They just want positioning.
Positioning is everything off the start, isn't it? I mean, especially getting that early lead, which I've been very surprised with for both VQ against F&I and Rise versus VQ earlier. This first hill, which shouldn't amount to much, has set the precedence for the remaining hills and also set the precedence for some big leads. But just like when Rise played against VQ the first time, it seems as if they are really not letting off the gas at all. But Precision, hold up a second. Does he got anything to say? Well, not so much. But here's Acells, the man that's been popping off. What can he do?
All right, now Acells, this is going to be big for him, but as you see, he gets crossed out on the side and 2 kills come through for Rise. 4v2 advantage on the map, and now would be the perfect time to start sending a few players on over to start rotating for info. Ooh, Precision catches DeToX in rotation. Well-timed shot there, and now with that kill coming through, it's going to be a man advantage for VQ here on P2.
Man advantage, Rise with the 40-point lead. VQ currently on the next hill, looking solid. What's the game plan for Rise? How do they want to go about this? Well, you got to put a lot of emphasis on Avexys, all right? Player number 8. He's got those frags, and I think, does he use them on the hill? Does he use them to eliminate player 2 who's holding down the spawn control? That's going to be Hndles. Well, a lot of options, but it seems as if he's made up his mind. Both are going to be out, but I don't think they're going to connect. The Cell should be able to dodge both, and Avexys goes into the blender, Lancered on both sides, and his head is blown off.
Now, here comes the remaining members of Rise just trying to make something happen, but nothing comes through. With Avexys going down, VQ was too comfortable there defending against the other 3 members of Rise. They tried to wolf pack in just so they can be there for each other on a revive, but that made it even easier on VQ with that man advantage. So not a well-timed push for Rise. Now VQ is going to be picking up off the rest of his time, 40 seconds, but you see Rise, they want to get in and contest now. Multiple flashes out. The M-Bar got stunned for a second, allowed a down to come through for Icy, but kills cleaned up. Man advantage for Rise. Can Precision do anything about it with a shot in the back? Can't get another down. 2 good ones, but in the end, it's Rise who will start to pick up off these 30 seconds. And good job here to Rushiez and Icy to know that they need to start rotating. Avexys needs to stay. There's no point in them hurtling around 30 seconds of time on that hill, especially with the size of this map.
Absolutely. The size of this map is huge, is it not? I mean, Training Grounds is massive in its own right, but Regency, you have to rotate early and set up for the next, because if you don't, you can fall behind quite convincingly. But I am curious as to player 3, but I guess he's going for the M-Bar on the other side, so it's going to be Zaisho versus Avexys, and it looks like Avexys will die off. Player 3, Zaisho, wins that engagement, but unfortunately the M-Bar's backpack, so now he's got to rotate pretty far to join the rest of his roster, but it seems as if VQ is going to be spawning right next to Rise, and a battle is underway.
With the nade picking up the kill on Hndles, Zaisho as he's trying to move through this spawn. Nobody's collecting any time off of gold. It's 68 points on the hill. VQ will manage to slip away as well as kill Icy towards the back of the spawn. Big kill for Rushiez. He does a great job playing off that damage. And now Rise, they're gonna have 3 players rotating to the hill. It's gonna be a solid 3v3. VQ will have one to spawn up, and he's going to give the call out to his teammates that, hey, I spawned across map at Fountain. Everybody's in front of you guys. Hold the line, pull the Lancers out, and get ready for the team fight.
Team fight definitely about to be underway. VQ has taken their first lead on this map, but only by about 20 or so points. They can't be too comfortable with that. Zaisho, he's got a wall of Rise members dancing around, forced to dip out. Rushiez, though, with the bait and switch, gets tagged up from Acells. Precision moves in, but it doesn't matter. A team wipe and a team ace, I do believe. I think Rushiez might have been eliminated, but either way for Rise, what a takeover attempt, and they capitalized, but only 20 seconds. Now you got to focus on next, and Rushiez is ready.
Now you guys understand why it's best to fight from that spawn side of the map and rotate from statue down into those lower hills of gold and Fountain because of the height advantage on the stairs. It just proves to be a little bit too strong there, right? It gives you a little advantage there. And Rise, they just had better positioning in that team fight. They win it, but they are able to rotate here, get set up at statue first. Multiple kills coming through. With this one, with the kill on Zaisho coming through, that makes it actually another team wipe here for Rise. They will win this team fight over towards the statue hill, and now they're getting geared up for a third.
Colin is always harping on the team fights, Rise, and at this point, he would absolutely be in favor of Rise. It seems every time VQ gets into a team fight, a decisive team fight, even if it's drawn out, Rise is usually the victor and the last one standing, getting whether it be 20 or 30 points. In this case, on statue, they can get quite a bit more. DeToX is deadly with the M-bar, and he's got a lot of options ahead of him. For me, though, I'd be focused on Zaisho and the players coming from mid, but the smoke will obscure his view. Good shot on to Precision, but not going to amount to much, and he misses the second. Ooh. Can he get the third? Yes, he can, but still, VQ continues to push forward, and Zaisho wants that solo. Oh, no! DeToX did not!
Looking for another, but his teammates is going to clean up the remaining few members of VQ, but DeToX, man, beautiful 2 shots from him, had it lined up, managed to make the play there in the end to win another team fight for Rise, and I think that's going to be their third in a row. They're going to start rotating over here towards Fountain. Few players already set up. Rushiez able to pick up a kill. Lancer fire coming down from the stairs for Avexys. He's going to have to watch his back. DeToX cleans up both kills, and Ices will be able to give the assist towards Avexys, and Rise will get set up once again.
Wow, Rushiez, even though I know he's staggering the devs. All right, let's not get too crazy, but hitting them with a little bit of that no-no. So you can tell Rise is feeling just as confident as ever. They're like, we beat you before. Now we're beating you down again on map number 1. Plus we have, obviously, the winner's advantage of having +1 heading into this best of 9. So Rise is at an all-time high, representing this great org, right, for the first time in Grand Finals in an event for Gears 5, and they're on top of the world. Avexys takes down Hndles to join DeToX in the hill, and VQ hasn't even got close.
Yeah, they haven't. You're gonna see VQ, they tried to make an attempt here from the middle. A few players do fall, but now Rise, with time ticking off this hill, they're just gonna start looking for these kills, trying to take their numbers. VQ is so far away. I was gonna say great dodge on the first, but Acells made sure that he was gonna at least take one to the grave and not give up those frags. Now VQ, they finally make it in, but how much time can DeToX shave off of this? 28 points remaining. Rise already built that 100-point lead, Taylor. When you work so hard in the early game, you can rotate early. You can give up 30 points of scrap time to put yourself in a position to fight for next and a power weapon. Now, they won't get this power weapon, and this will, I think, maybe the first M-bar that we've seen VQ have during this game.
Yes, sir. It is the first M-bar, and what a player to give it to, right? We've seen what Acells did to F&I with the M-bar just before in the previous series, loser bracket finals, and he's a deadly player to have, and I know Rise, the beads of sweat have to be coming down their forehead at this point, and Acells with 6 shots, he's going to be instrumental in allowing VQ to get the break on this hill, and I love the fact that he's focused on the players in window. He can also let his teammates maybe push forward and attack the players behind that of H, but that shock, it needs to dissipate first. It's going to be out of the way, and VQ needs to push on.
Acells, needs to shut down one of these angles or shut down a player, and that's a good way to do it. 4v3, he pulls out the shot, he moves towards the back lane, needs to go a little bit wider, allow his teammates to come through, but here comes DeToX taking one to the grave. Team kill from Icy. That's a blunder. He goes down, and VQ will be able to get set up here at Couches.
All right, so will VQ start to mount this comeback, Blaze? They've got a little bit of ground to cover, not too out of the ballpark just yet for VQ, but things could get scary if Rise continues to dominate as they have been. Here comes Rise for the pushback. It's going to be a clean 4v4. VQ inside the hill, Rise just on the outside. Zaisho hits some pop shots on the Icy. Acells will take down Avexys. That's going to bring it down to a 4v3 and a good body shot on a 1. But either way, Rushiez comes back for revenge. That's going to be at least 1 down. Make that 2. Will it be 3? Zaisho needs to stand his ground. He's gone. Hndles. He can't do anything. And like I said, a clean break. And that's only 20 seconds, but 20 seconds puts Rise above 200.
Yeah, and you know that does a lot for the morale, just seeing it on the scoreboard. You know, as you move towards these next few hills, Rise is going to have that confidence. We're going towards the center hill as well, resetting back to Rose Garden. Rise will be set up. I love the line. All 3 of these players have a nice little right-hand advantage, but it don't matter. VQ is going to double up, take the fight at the back line. Zaisho puts Avexys down, and now Rise on their back foot, waiting for their teammates to respawn, but I don't think VQ knows Rushiez is here, because if they did, they would have pushed him out by now. They take 2v1s.
Well, you can even look at how many bullets he had left. He only has 1 left in an Asher. He's not reloading because he doesn't want to give away his position. So it's going to be pretty scary if someone decides to push him, but I believe he has been spotted by Acells, so he's going to go ahead and back off and allow VQ just to sit there. He's going to maintain his life. Zaisho trying to control mid as long as he can, but he's going to be sniffed out. DeToX will eliminate him. Avexys will knock down Hndles, and Rise, they are pushing forward with the vengeance. It's going to be a 4v2 for the hill.
Well-timed push here for Rise, and I think Rushiez has stayed alive the entire time on his bottom portion of the map. DeToX is able to make it there, gets a kill. Acells with a shot over the top, gets another down. No chunk. That's a chunk right there. He gets help. 2v2 fight. Rise having to deal with Hndles here towards the middle, and Hndles will find a double kill.
Wow, Hndles, Acells, they were the reason why Rise was stopped at the 1-yard line for that hill. And VQ within striking distance of coming back, Blaze. They were down so many points, but now if they can have one more solid hill, obviously being the next one here where Rise is currently at, they could be sitting pretty. It's going to be a scrappy battle. Acells on the outside looking in. Rise should get the first points, but VQ, will they be able? Oh, they get great spawns. They're ready to push in.
All right, here comes VQ. They already have a player holding the wide, so VQ has some space to work around. They have the angles. So over the cover shots not connecting for Avexys. He goes down. 2 kills cleaned up for VQ. Icy is on the run to regroup with Rushiez as they're going to try to play for next, which is going to be a cross map towards gold. And actually, I take that back. They're not going to be playing for next. They're going to be just trying to get those nades there towards the middle. Rushiez, did he get the frags? He did get the frags. Icy picked up his flash. 60 points left on his heel. Oh, Zaisho gets him, but backs up in time. He doesn't go back for the nade. He cuts back to see if he can help his teammates out, but not sure if he knows that nade is on the ground. Somebody maybe get off the respawn. Oh, player 3 said, hey, I got it. Don't worry about it. He moves on over to get it.
And shout out to Zaisho, by the way. He is the reason why that last hill went so well for them, Blaze. He was the one who did spawn control. Rise didn't even challenge for it. They were so, caught up with being inside the hill and setting up defensively that they didn't even think about getting Zaisho out of there. And because Zaisho was in the spot he was in, VQ spawns up directly on him, and they were just inches away from challenging Rise for a team fight in the new hill. So shout out to Zaisho for doing that. Plus, he gets that fresh frag. He still has it, by the way. So the only worry that you have is Icy with the M-bar, but that frag could be very, very valuable depending. And look at this, VQ 213 to 225. They could do this.
All right, but when do they want to start this push? How much time do they want to waste? 7 seconds on next. You don't want to wait for this heel to rotate. You want to use this time now to get in there, and they execute the push. The nade will be able to clear out the back lanes, but Avexys moving back, gonna get himself a left-handy, and then at this moment, him and Icy just gonna continue to disengage because it's open terrain in front of them. They have the M-bar, they got the Lancer fire. They just need to rely on Icy to get a pick.
2 shots missed. No, he doesn't fire the second one, so he still has 2 more remaining. Rushiez, great snub fire. DeToX is there for the help, but either way, Zaisho and Acells are resilient, plus Precision joins into the mix. Avexys tries to get across, but this is an opportunity as all 3 of those members from VQ distracted by DeToX pushing in. DeToX obviously will get the cleanup, and that's another team wipe for the side of Rise. One more shot for the M-bar with, of course, Icy, and things could get scary. VQ needs to get a break quickly, because at this point, if Rise gets all the points, they're going to be at 290, and what a shot from Icy.
I absolutely love that defensive hold from Rise back in, I think it was Avexys and Icy up towards the spawn, allowing VQ to cross the open terrain, and DeToX and Rushiez just pulled out their pistols and lancers and forced VQ into a corner until help came. Great composure there from Rise, and they've netted a lot of points off of that 30-till victory. Vanquish needs to play damn near perfect, folks. We're about to rotate up top towards Statue, and VQ will have another M-bar in hand. I think we're split for the map. Body shot for Zaisho gives the intel to his team, but Rise, it's going to be a 3v3 fight for now and a 1v1 on the other side of the map. Beautiful names from DeToX, but Acells, now can he hold it? 2 great shots. Another one over the top, misses the back A, and Rise cleans house. 10 points away from victory.
10 points away and counting. Hndles, Zaisho, they've got to get desperate. They've got to get inside this hill, keep it contested. Will they be able to do so? Well, we're definitely going to find out shortly. Precision up close and personal. Hot air just pushing in. Can't make it happen. Acells will get the trade, but is it enough? Clearly not. Hndles last on the map. He's nowhere close. And ladies and gentlemen, 300 to 213 is where the buck will stop and Rise, because they came in 2 grand finals with the 1-0 lead. They now take a 2-0 lead. 3 maps away from taking grand finals and giving Rise their first championship win in Gears 5.
Woo-wee, folks. DeToX, I told you, man, he'll be MVP every single map, win or lose. 33 eliminations, 13 downs. He definitely set the pace for Rise, and Avexys, Rushiez, and Icy definitely kept up there. So good job to Rise, locking in map number 1 on Control, folks. Just one more step closer to Rushiez and Icy's getting themselves another championship. Avexys and DeToX getting there first. But what we're all about to understand, and if Rise doesn't know this just yet, they're going to realize that this grand finals is about to be about stamina, okay? And they can't choose to get comfortable. Even if they keep playing at this pace, they go up to a 3-map, 4-map lead. They cannot get comfortable against VQ, because this is a best-of-9 series, folks, all right? And, we got map number 1 locked in here, and it's a lot more to go.
Well, you want to talk about stamina? Let me throw another question at you, another scenario, right? Stamina is a real thing. I agree, and Rise did have a break because they secured their spot in grand finals earlier, beating VQ. VQ had to go against FNI. Now, granted, they made that series look easy. Bottom line, period. They only lost 1 map. So I believe VQ, I mean, for them, that was just kind of staying warm, but you want to say stamina? Well, VQ has to play, or had to play, an entire fresh series today. So what's their stamina going to look like if this series keeps extended?
Well, I tell it to you like this, when it comes down to it, VQ has played 8 maps so far throughout the day. They played in the winners finals, they played in the losers finals, and they played in the grand finals all in a row. So they've had little breaks here and there, but if they are able to come back in this grand finals as they're already down 0-2, they've earned their second title, all right? They have exceeded past the level in which they have reached beforehand to earn a championship, to earn a chip. And when you look at some of the great dynasties of the past, these dynasties, they've won from the winners bracket 3-0. They've came from the losers bracket to win. They've done reverse sweeps in the grand finals. They have multiple championships, but they won them in different fashions. That's what makes them so talented. And so VQ, this is their toughest task just yet. And this will be their greatest trophy if they are able to win this one from the losers bracket, already being down 2-0.
And let me ask you this too, because we were talking before the series started. And I think we even had a chance to kind of chop it up with Colin and Jacob. And, one of the things that you were harping on was the fact that VQ is most likely going to come into grand finals and they're going to take maps 1 and 2. And that's because Rise was put on ice because they haven't been playing and VQ's obviously warmed up. Now, how does your opinion sway that Rise does take map 1 when you were so convinced, or at least you thought VQ would take map 1, at least when we were talking privately?
No. What I said was that I said that I think the first 2 maps are in favor of Rise, the Regency and the Clocktower, and they're good there. VQ had to take maps 3 and 4, the training grounds escalation,
right,
and then the district control. Those are the 2 maps that I'm favoring for them. And so Rise, so far so good as far as their game plan goes. The strategy that they have laid out to play their most comfortable maps, to get one of their best 2 control maps in the front of the cycle, and then immediately play Clocktower in this series is the greatest strategy that Rise has probably had, because they go in with so much confidence, and I think they've led every series 2-0 throughout the weekend, and they know how to build off of that, having that cushion.
One of the big things that was telling to me on Regency Control was how well Rise was playing as one cohesive unit. We highlight DeToX. We highlight the snipes from Icy. Okay, Avexys had his moments. Rushiez, of course, doing his job as a support player, being where he needed to be to kind of lock in certain lanes. But just playing as a team, you can tell Rise is clicking. They're firing on all cylinders, and they're looking great. Rushiez gets the quick pick on the nades uncontested, and VQ doesn't try to capitalize by pushing the man advantage up top for the long shot.
All right, and they have to capitalize on that one. But right now, as you said, when it comes down to it here, looking at Rise here towards the back, you're gonna see the nade shift over. That's what I was looking for there when it came down towards the player feed. They're gonna put them in Avexys' hands. That's the only way you can swap nades. You got to drop them, and somebody else got to pick them up. Can't swap them like weapons, but how does Rise want to play these nades? And see, the thing is that they just can relax. If anyone for VQ goes for bow, as they're doing now, Rise knows that this is when they have to capitalize. They see the notification on screen. Rise most definitely is going to pick up the snipe. Beautiful nade from Avexys to catch that player coming from back pillar. And now Rise gets to have one of the best snipers in the game, just lock down this entire center area of the map as they wait for the neutral hill to come.
Oh, and revving up that torque bow is going to be so hard to do with DeToX breathing down your neck. Plus, Avexys getting that angle, and he might be able to get the knock here. Hndles can't go anywhere. He can't go anywhere, Blaze.
Tunnel vision. One shot. There you go. Now, who's going to clean that one up?
Oh, it's a trap. It's a trap. Don't do it. No. They took the bait, Blaze. They took the bait.
Yeah, Rise can do whatever they want. They got their guardian angel in the sky. DeToX, man, just holding it down. He says, bro, this is easy. Easy round number 1.
They baited precision. They baited precision, Blaze.
Just going back, that was a round win because Rushiez was able to get those nades early on. Hndles is going to have to keep a close eye on him throughout the entirety of this map. And he's going to have to be very Hndles is gonna have to mix it up, because he's gonna have to be aggressive and need some rounds, because he needs to force Rushiez to keep focus on him. If not, he needs to find some kind of punishment with that, and that may be either Hndles flanking or him getting nades for his squad.
I like this push from Rushiez, but is it a bit too bold? We'll definitely find out. Avexys will drop, but he's picked back up. Big team fight underway. Zaisho is going to drop. Oh my goodness, Hndles is actually down. Zaisho falls shortly after. My goodness, Rise doesn't pump the brakes at all. And remember, you go back, earlier yesterday when Rise played against the United, it wasn't uncharacteristic for Rise to push straight into EU, and they did that to VQ just now.
So, one thing is I do want to say there that I think Rise is so good at doing, and a lot of our other teams out here, is that wolf pack in there, that 4-man rush. Friendly fire zone, folks, okay? That's not on in rain games, but Rise has just enough spacing between each other where they have this extended shotgun spread where anybody in a radius between, a 6-player radius, they're going to get bodied, because that's how tight and closely Rise play, and the revives come through and they negate damage. Now, Sniper's going to be picked up. They get out without any repercussions, and Icy got the jump on the torque as they were getting sniped. So that was well timed from him, and now Rise has all the utility in which they want. the last time we saw this strategy, Taylor, it was coming out of from Spanglish. Yeah. Okay, and maybe Rise can give Spanglish a little lesson here on how to play with the snipe and bow in your spine.
I think they can. I don't assume Rise, with the advantage they have with the snipe and the torque, is going to go away. But for Precision does have the nades, something to take note of. But one thing though that VQ could take into account is the fact, since Rise picked up the long shot so quickly, we might see VQ with an opportunity to grab a long shot or a sniper right before that overtime hill comes into play. Remember, we were seeing double snipes before Blaze, so that could be a possibility VQ's waiting on.
All right, yeah, we were doing double snipes before here, but as we move here, DeToX, scope in hand, still not able to find a target just yet. My question is that where's this neutral hill going to be? Is it dead center? Is it going to be closer towards the torque bow? Overtime starts in 20. We'll know that intel at 15. These players already know. They know from the beginning of the round, and that's going to be dead center. With Acells picking up a nade kill on Avexys, that gives a man advantage over to VQ, but you're still going to have this snipe in the torque bow focusing inside of the map. Icy, can he hit a shot on these players that's crossing? A body shot if something needs to be hit for DeToX. No one's in a heal just yet. Chaos has erupted. Double nade kill, team kill, VQ. Can they get the capture? Icy has to back up. He moves forward, but he can't get it done. Wow. VQ will win the round.
Hey, we asked, would we have a lesson taught over towards Spanglish when Rise had the torque bow and the long shot? That lesson doesn't come in, but granted, VQ played that very well, and we're seeing now when that hill is on the bottom, a team will stay up top because they want the snipe. Plus, if they get nades, it puts them at a distinct advantage.
Also, they will get, since snipes on a 90-second respawn timer, and that strategy happens so quickly, you can get one by the time the overhill, the overtime hill comes.
Exactly.
And technically, at this point, that strategy is just a definition of doing too much. Get the sniper, find kills right away. Don't slow it down too much unless you can make the plays. Icy picks up a kill down low, and you're gonna have Avexys and Rushiez working together to clean up Acells. 4v2 advantage for Rise, and now they just need to angle out the final two members of VQ.
Yeah, Precision was absolutely punished early on, and we got the wall coming out early on. Blaze, you know Rise is on top of the world. They're feeling solid. They know they were starting off grand finals with really, quite literally, their best two maps, plus they have the control. We talked about that, but again, Precision going for the quick pick on the nades, absolutely punished. Nobody there having his back to get his pick up.
Yeah, nobody having his back whatsoever. Now we head here into round number 4. Sorry, round number 5. Initial strategy. 3-1. Rushiez, does he want to get this flash banked off right away? It's a play for Snipe. He's going to force the player and back pillar out, but DeToX doesn't move up just yet. At a stalemate. Rise have one utility grenade left in the hands of Icy. While on the flip end, VQ stayed a little bit more composed. They're going to have 3 in their hands to make a play. And now a 4th.
And that's going to be hugely beneficial, but with Icy rotating down for nades, he's going to be tagged up from host spot. Hndles moves in. He knows the call out is in. And it's going to be a tough spot for Icy to get out of, but if he can get away with these nades, he tries to space it, and Hndles wins it. That's going to be first blood, but quickly answered back by Avexis. He rotates down, and does he go back up to join his team? Does he go for torque? It seems as if he's going to be a bit indecisive as VQ has moved forward, and you got to respect Zaisho with the snipe.
Yeah, nades got pocketed. You may have an extra flash from that ground down low. Rushiez going to have one already in his back pocket. VQ don't have any utility grenades, just a sniper in hand. That's going to be all they need. This hill is going to be up top for the overtime, as now Zaisho has to defend. He just needs to hit a body shot and put out the damage for his squad. He was the focal point of Rise, but they have managed to force their way back up towards the high ground, and now they're on the even playing field. But Zaisho, he can change that.
Zaisho's going to change that. Like you said, first time in a championship, obviously with his team, who's already been here before, but definitely want to be there again. We've set up the storyline about 4 different winners, right? From our majors to MSPs, and VQ is looking to break that mold from winning not only one major, the winter major, but also win MSP here Overtime Hill is going to be popping up. It's going to be a 3v3, and Zaisho gets the first shot.
One down. DeToX is trying to just get something, but the shots are just too good there from VQ. You see all three players with a meat shield there. Looks like a little disco dance. Just a dance party in general, you know? Everybody found a partner, pair it up, having some couples therapy up there.
Couples therapy. I mean, no better time to do it than here on Clocktower, you know?
Yeah,
execution, right? I think everybody needs that therapy once in a while, calm the nerves a little bit. Player 5 going for the nades off the rip. He has been spotted by Hndles, but does he get out? Meanwhile, up top, Acells is head down straight into Avexys and co, but forced to back up. It's going to be a tense 3v3. And do the nades get up top? Yes, they do. Well, Rushiez throws out one. It doesn't connect, but Acells, will get the snipe. Ooh. Puts it to use on Icy. Avexys will also fall. It's going to be a 4v2. And there's really nowhere DeToX and Rushiez could go but forward. They got to fight it out.
VQ, that was a well-timed push from them. They're going to get the last kill, get us all tied up 3-3. And we started that round from the perspective of Acells and the quickness in which he rushes that back pillar. A few flashes are already blown up. Some don't connect, but he knows there is another flash coming over the top from one of his teammates to help him just in case. And he plays that with so much confidence to force his opponents to hit their shots. But as soon as they back off that back pillar and VQ gets there, they wait it out and they force Rise to just back up themselves or move into their right hands and in their crosshairs. So VQ, they were aggressive but also composed at the same time on that push. So far, so good for them at map number 2, and this is Rise's best map. They are the best Clocktower team that we have out here. So if VQ can win this one, that is going to do a lot for their confidence in this series.
Overtime Hill is going to be down on bridge. Last time it was over in that location. Rise went for the quick pick, set up for Torque, and then unfortunately lost that round. But in this case, it looks as if we're going to be slowing things down. We're tied up 3-3. The momentum might be in VQ's hand. You maybe can argue that, but this next round is going to be important to break the mold, take the lead back.
Yep.
And for VQ, this could be the first time they take the lead.
And so I also will say this, that you know, a lot of these teams' initial strategies is based around what our overtime Hill is running. You'll see a quick pick snipe if they know the Hill is down low, and they'll play for all these other power weapons. As DeToX will get the quick pick, trying to turn around, seeing if he can find any shot. The lineup is there. He knows players have to shift up and down this line, so he's just going to put the crosshair there, wait for somebody to come through. But instead, Acells made a quick rotation down low to find the frags for his squad. They won't be able to get Torque Bow unless DeToX is called out throughout the entirety of this push up top. That he's in a center line and they have an opportunity for Hndles to be able to get it. Instead, Rise is pushing through, looking for a kill. The nades are out. They connect on a snipe. Man advantage. The second nade is not going to hit. Quick revive, 3v3. Can Icy hold the jail as he's getting flanked? Is turned into a 2v2. Rise is doing a good job working together, but VQ is the one who will finish the round and take the first lead on Clocktower.
The fact that VQ rotates down and has that mindset to just give up snipe but put the nades to use. I will give VQ credit, Blaze. VQ has utilized the nades in such a way that it really balances out and maybe even tips the scales to their side, because Rise is getting decimated and destroyed by these nade throws.
Yeah, VQ, they got some great placements with their nades. They're not rushing them. They're taking some high percentage tosses there, and they also know, you know, they don't really want to play into Rise's hands when it comes down to going into that snipe fight. They just want to slow DeToX down just enough for them to get the nades and put them back in position, because when Rise goes for that snipe, majority of their members are going to be closest up top. They won't go for snipe and nades at the same time, as we see VQ are the aggressors in this position, holding the line. And this is what I was talking about, using their flashes to force their way up to this point, and they just hold the back pillar up. Precision gets a double. Acells flings through jail, and Rushiez is going to give him the double kill. So that's a deuce for the main slayers of Precision and Acells.
You know what's scary about VQ at this point is you can see the confidence in the way that they're pushing Blaze. Like, you can see how confident they don't care about Rise at this point. Like, Rise is just an obstacle in their way, and they're stepping over them. It's like a baby step ladder, okay? And they're just stepping over. No worries at all, man. It's not even a hurdle at this point. And VQ now, that's what, 4 rounds in a row? 5-3. Rise has yet to find an answer. Rushiez has been going down low and picking up the nades, but there's been literally zero connection anytime. And oftentimes he gets lancered out. So he's back up top, and he's going to try his hand at maybe taking on Precision, who has been literally on fire in the past couple of rounds. At this point, there is no reason why I think VQ isn't going to close us out this round.
Yeah, Precision has been on fire. They've had some good strategies so far. We haven't seen VQ go for any type of snipe pickups here towards this bad side. They've been really playing off of what Rise wants to do here. And that's cool because this is like I said, it's VQ's bad side, and this is the perfect time for you to be passive. Hold your nades. They've had a lot of great discipline when it comes down to their utility. They'll let Rise make that move first, but Rise are not being the initiators this time around. They've kind of, just slowed it down a bit because they've recognized that it's been multiple rounds where they'll start to use most of their utility and no kills come through, and now they're left to play into VQ's hand, or they got to back up for another flash. But now flashes are out, the play is ensuing, and DeToX will get sniping back up. VQ needs to do something.
And VQ looks as if they're going to go ahead and rotate down, right? Nades is something that benefits them greatly once they lose snipe, and Hndles will get his hands on them, and a great shot across the way, but not enough to get the heady. And up top, you better watch your back, Rise, because there's going to be some Lancer fire going down. Now, keep your eye on the minimap for Hndles. He could rotate back and get his hands on the torque, but it seems with everybody rotating up top, you got to assume the overtime hill is going to be here, and those nades from Hndles are going to be imperative, but Rise isn't waiting, and they're pushing forward, but they're getting put in a blender.
Oh, Heisey ran in between 2 crosshairs. DeToX puts the snipe up, gets right in the fight as his team
needs him.
There's the nades for Hndles. 3v1, but a quick rush from Rushiez. Does he have enough time?
You gotta get him.
He will not. That's a down shotty out. That's so close for Rushiez. Great effort, but it's the duo of Hndles in the Acells winning a 2v1 to close out the round. And finally, VQ, they're on the board.
They are on the board, and that is the most important part. They take one of the most better, or at least one of the better maps, right, of Clocktower execution, so they can hang their head up high. We got Escalation Training Grounds coming up next, which obviously VQ should win and then tie up the series 2-2, but we'll find out after this break. Welcome back to the grand finals of the mid-split playoffs for Split 3. I'm Taylor Reflections Double, joined by Guy Blaze, and what a series we have on us. Man, we thought Rise for sure was going to take this Clocktower. They've been playing absolutely lights out. They started off incredibly well. They looked like they were in total control, but Blaze, VQ shuts them down time in and time out. And, if there were 2 halves, you got to say, VQ in that second half just absolutely dominated. And those nades were a large reason why.
Yeah, Taylor, those lane nades were a big reason why they dominated there. VQ, they always had a counter for what Rise wanted to throw at them on the strategy standpoint. If Rise went for that sniper and they were aggressive up top, VQ knew that they had to get an advantage somewhere, and they wasted no time rotating down low to pick them up. They didn't need somebody to tell them to go get nades. They didn't need to say, hey, do we want to get nades or bow? It was instinctive of the plays in which they need to make, and that speed narrowly won them a few of these rounds for them here to come back on Rise.
And not to isolate anybody, but Rushiez, for as well as he played, he was getting punished so many times. And when he went down low to get those nades, and I believe that was Hndles consistently putting him in check. So shout out to Hndles, really isolating him, reading him for what it was, allowing him to get the nades, feel comfortable, but then lancering him down. And also shout out to the host spot player who had him in check as well. So that is a big victory for the boys of VQ. Specifically as we're heading to TG Escalation, which naturally you have to favor Vanquish, because Rise has always struggled in Escalation when it comes to Split 3. They have no on Harbor, it's a different story, but Training Grounds is not their strong map.
Oh yeah, no, Training Grounds isn't their strongest map. But man, I was looking at looking at that series after seeing the first 2 maps, and I was like, damn, we about to go to the game 5. Okay, I was just thinking in my head, I was like, all right, VQ's gonna win that. Rise is gonna win this one. VQ's about to come out here. Rye's gonna take that control.
We thought we had it figured out.
And Dennis coming down to tune, folks. We may go to distance in this series, and some of y'all like, man, how the hell Blaze know that? Okay, he's just
you're the
talking.
Wizard.
But if you've been watching
you're the
the stream long enough,
what'd you call yourself?
Okay,
the vibe checker? I don't know,
Vibe
man.
master. But if you've been watching the stream long enough, if you've been here
you
since
just
Gears of War 4, y'all know I don't play when I get these feelings. Y'all know if I say it, it's a good reason why I'm saying it, and it may happen. And 85% of the time, it may happen. So somebody's out there, they're excited, but I'm excited to watch this one here. Can VQ get it all tied up? 2-2. Training grounds, escalation as the battles kicked off. Both squads getting a lot of support from heaven, but it is VQ who breaks through first. Now, Avexys needs to find a kill. He can't do that. Rise has to defend their home hill.
And VQ is going to be committing quite a bit. It's imperative that Rushiez clutches up in this moment. That's going to be a solid elimination. Precision in trouble. And Rushiez, with the help of Icy and Co, will shut down this overextension. Wait a second. Precision does fall. And again, shout out to Icy and Rushy. And Icy's going to let Precision and really sit him down and give him a talk and say, you know what? You really didn't have to go that far for the OE. But Hndles on B, it's not playing around either. So VQ will take a little bit of a lead off the rip, but Rise and will eventually answer back, you'd have to assume, but I don't know. Things are still scrappy on B.
Did the revive did not come through? It now double revives, maybe? Hndles actually did die. He went to the grave, and Rise is capitalizing off of this. They had the Lancer Fire come in from top Overlook, but two members of VQ did survive. They're capping in B Hill, and with their players coming off respawn, well, they won't be thriving just yet. They lost their home hill. Great overextension from Rise to be able to make VQ's home hill the focal point. It gives their two players off the respawn an opportunity to fill in the gaps, possibly go for B, or come in and give them some help from top Overlook. We're starting to see the B play be made, but player 5, Precision, just rotated past both of them. He dodged that 1v2 to get to the home hill and keep Rise off balance, in the momentum in VQ's favor. They have a home hill set up because of that rotation Precision just made.
And Rise has no choice but to meet VQ head on for the fight, for their own home hill at this point. And VQ has a decent lead. If they can hold off Rise in this retake attempt, they're going to be sitting pretty and may take this round, and that's going to be an easy cleanup. Very clean. Icy last up now for the team of Rise. Acells in a bit of a battle, but he'll get that win. You can tell he was, and that's going to be a team wipe and a domination for the boys of VQ. And you shouted out Precision in that case. A long-winded round, 2 minutes and 25 seconds, but VQ takes it.
Clean. We saw Rise, I believe it was with a home hill setup. They forced the fight at the home hill of VQ. Rise, as they were waiting for two members to come off that respawn, he just had to take Precision out at B. He slipped between them, and then he was able to help lock in that home hill as those other two members of Rise was coming off a respawn. And then we saw them win a team fight, and that next member of VQ came off the respawn and just caps up B. Trip cap domination, only possible because Precision said, you know what, let me work smarter, not harder. Yeah, I can fight. Yeah, I clutch 1v2s a lot, but I don't need to, okay?
This is so typical of Rise, man. Placing that ensign and Overlook. I mean, they are below and tunnel.
I think it's the superior strategy on this map.
I 100% agree. I really do. And Rise is the team who literally started this meta. And teams have followed suit. It makes teams uncomfortable. They're not used to it. And if you have a team like VQ who's so dominant in Escalation, this is a great way to throw them off.
But this is where it gets crazy because, well, this is what VQ needs to know. They need to put what power weapon they want down before Rise puts the power weapon. Because Rise can choose if they wanted to send it towards B or send it towards Overlook. And I think VQ should choose to make that option once Rise starts putting these center line power weapons down, because you know the shock is going to go somewhere. But kills coming through for Rise. They will be able to lock in top Overlook. They're going to be able to get Hndles down at the B hill. And now, with support from the Overlook, Rushiez is in a good spot. He just needs to cap the hill, back up a little bit. He will be able to safely reposition, but now VQ is trying not to waste any time. Zaisho wanted to hop into the hill, but he won't be able to, especially with Avexys at the top Overlook. He needs to wait for his teammates to get in position.
And good job to Rushiez. Oh, where'd that come from? Avexys from downtown connects onto Precision, and he says you're going through that choke point, but not for very long. Acells says maybe I need to take a different route. Let's figure out what we really need to do. Rushiez has overextended quite a bit. He needs to get back to his team. He drops here. That's going to put Zaisho in a good spot, potentially even player 5, Precision, who is just chomping at the bit to push up, and he's going to do so. Rushiez stunned, can't get the shot off Precision. We'll capitalize and take him down, and that should be B going over to VQ.
Great shots here for Rise. That's 2 kills being picked up. But they're just going to go for the home hill setup. They're going to disengage away from the B hill, fortify at the top portion of the map. They already have a lead, and they just need to make this first team fight as difficult as possible for VQ. That could buy them enough time. But on the flip end, VQ plans on taking 2v2 fights on both home hills simultaneously. They're just trying to assess the numbers, and they're looking to make one perfect play here in the late game. I don't think the push starts on his side, but Acells gets through 3 players. Can he save his teammate? Yes, he will. And now gets to the hill. The 2v1 was taken on the other side. Other than 2v1 is taken here. And flawless execution from Vanquish.
Is Acells not the best at this point? Like, I'm confused. Is there any debate as to how good Acells really is, Blaze?
I don't think it is. I don't think it is. Not over here.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if VQ's going to win, Acells is the wild card because that guy just does it all. He did it against FNI. He's pulling up now.
A 3v2 team fight for Rise on that home hill. Somehow Acells gets through Lancer fire, side rolls into a player's chest, gets a kill, doubles back, and save his teammate. While his teammates were already taking a 2v1 on the opposite end of the map, Rise just needed the one. And they put all their eggs in that basket. It didn't work out for them, but I think that was the superior play. Just Acells negated it all. Now we're here in round number 3. Let's see what VQ can do with that momentum.
VQ's definitely got the momentum in their favor, but they should, right? This is a map that absolutely favors them in this matchup specifically, and DeToX tries to rotate around. He's not going to have any luck. Precision stunned for a little bit, but back up, but he won't be finished off. Meanwhile, though, it's not going to be good fun for Icy. He's about to be in a 1v2. He's on his last down. He's going to be finished, and Rushiez now forced to dip out. He can't challenge that. There's no way. You're just going through choke, but he has no choice because VQ hunts him down. This is pure aggression.
Yeah, there's no running from him in that positioning right there. He's gonna finally get cleaned up. Teammates saved there. VQ, they're feeling comfortable. 2 hills to their name. Rise is waiting for a player to come off a respawn. In this moment, unless you're gonna see Icy make a play in a 1v1 opposite map, maybe get some help from Rushiez. That's what it's looking like. But somehow player 5 at the Overlook needs to get dealt with. That's a great bait for that incendiary grenade. And actually, that's player 6 here at the Overlook. Zaisho, knowing that he's going to have to help his teammates soon.
Icy tries to move his way forward, but he's got to join DeToX. This would be a much better push if it was 3 men, and obviously Rise is going to be in that spot. Zaisho knows Acells should have been calling out. Nice shock thrown. You know where Rise is going down low, and Zaisho's going to be instrumental with this instant. Who does he use it on, though? And he's got options, Blaze.
Yeah, he got a lot of options, but Icy is
you gotta use it.
Zaisho messed up on his cover. He's forced to stay here. He needs to pull it out now, but he's gonna kill himself. His timing was just off. He had it lined up for Icy, a blunder there, because he did not mean to go as far as he did. But here comes Rise as they move to the home hill. They lose the 1v1 fight. They're gonna lose that 1v1 fight. Rushiez to Hndles at B. So Rise, they don't have the win condition at all either. They need to wait till they can become a full 4-man unit, and they got 1 team fight left in this round.
Heartbreaking Zaisho dies in that spot, though, with the ensign. I mean, if he uses that could have been a 2-piece, but pulls out the Nasher instead. It was the right call, but like you said, VQ in this point do have the win condition. It's up to Rise to answer, and VQ's parked the bus on B. You don't see this too often, do you, right? A team setting up defensively to defend the neutral, but that's just kind of how the round ended up playing out. Rise has time, but Precision's going to be at the forefront, and any elimination he gets here is going to be big. Rushiez is going to go down. Great spot. I believe he also had help. Icy's out of the way. That's 2 gone, and now you just have 2 more to deal with on the left side, but either way, for insurance, Precision's going to go to A. This is a VQ round.
Yeah. You know, in that moment, you know, when Rise pushed across, they capped the home hill. And then we kind of saw that win condition still stay in favor of VQ. In that moment, both squads knew it was one team fight that was going to be left and around. And VQ, they just huddled around that B hill. They had the height advantages. They pushed it out, and they gave themselves a great setup to win that last team fight in the fashion which they did. And so good job to them. 3-0 lead on training grounds. Let's see if VQ can close it out.
I think they can. I think they can. I see. Oh, I don't know about this. I don't know about the long shot and overlook, Blaze. I don't think that's the right play. I really don't, because VQ's been doing so well. No, VQ, you got to favor them in this overlook fight. You really do, but we'll find out how it's going to work out. But
what, you don't put nothing there?
Hey, look, I don't know what you put there, but I mean, you're given now an opportunity for Acells or Hndles to pick up that snipe. What you're doing is that you're giving Icy and DeToX a big carrot, okay? Now they're gonna fight a little bit extra hard. They're gonna fight harder for that carrot, putting that effort here towards the back lane. Well, they don't look vegetarian to me, brother.
Here from
they don't look vegetarian to me, brother.
The fight wide. They increased that cone of damage, and it was nothing that Rise could do there in that moment. And VQ, as you said, they've been dominant off that initial, and it's no different here in round number 4. But I still think that was the play for Rise. I still think you have to put that snipe down. Force yourself to win the fight.
Stand by it. Hey, look, man, I'm not hating on it. I'm just saying, you know, VQ. I mean, they've been looking solid on that fight. They've been looking. Yeah, they have been looking good on that overlook fight. Yeah, good. I mean, real good, man. And at this point, Zaisho's gonna be rolling some heads from this point forward. But you know what? You have nothing to lose if you're Rise, Blaze. You're down 4-0. You just gotta go for it. You just gotta commit. Get funky with it. If you gotta throw out some weird strategies, I'm all for it at this point, because it's clearly not working playing default, playing standard.
Yeah, at the end of the day, man, VQ, they are working so well together. It's the focus fire. Look at this initial damage coming out. I don't even know if Precision was even getting hit as hard as he did, but I got my answer. Avexys is trying to lock him down. Acells moves through the middle to get 2.
I hate the laugh, but I mean, it's so clinical at this point for Acells. He's so good. I mean, he's just really so good. Is Precision going to hand off that snipe? He's going to keep it. He's going to keep it. He said, let me have some fun, man. Zaisho, you've been playing around too much with it. Let me have my moment to shine.
All right, let's see what Precision can do with the scope. Man, as far as the best sniper on this Vanquish squad, I got to put that in the hands of Acells, I think. You know, if they all went toe-to-toe with each other, you know, old school canals, I think Acells wins. But Precision looking for angles. Great smokes from Rise. Good body shot there. Looking for the next. He knows that he has a shot on that player on Heaven. Another great body shot on Icy, keeping them slowed down. Some team downs coming through. A sea of flames that Rise had to cross there in the back corner. They couldn't get through. And VQ, they're going to make this play for the home hill, and Avexys is weak, so not much you can do. They're going to play this with a lot of confidence, as they should. Vanquish with a trip cap domination coming through in round number 5. And that kill coming through as well. They will solidify a perfect training grounds escalation map.
Flawless, absolutely flawless. And after the comeback on Clocktower, I mean, and I say comeback because they were down, I believe 3-1 if I'm not mistaken, but to dominate Clocktower in the way that they did, one of Rise's best map, and to be expected, VQ wins Escalation on TG. But granted, last time they played in Winners Finals, it at least went 5-3. It wasn't a flawless victory, but the thing about VQ, and you said it best, Blaze, they're not the same team they were in Winners Finals. Beating F9 the way that they did, having a second chance to beat Rise, this is what they've been waiting for. This is what they wanted.
Yeah, you know, VQ, they're definitely looking like themselves right now. I don't know what the hell happened in that Winners Finals. You know, Colin and PR was calling Acells out for mission shots early on in that district control.
Not missing now.
He ain't missing a damn thing, okay, y'all? He is in full form, as he should be. If Rise wants to win this grand finals, they got to go up against a previous champion, all right? The best team from our pro league, coming from the losers bracket with fire up against their backs, trying not to let their fans down. These boys are hell risers, all right? And this is the Rise's toughest test. And I'm not even mad at it, because if DeToX and Avexys want to be champions, this is how you do it. You know, we would love for this to be on land and we have the real environment. I think Icy is an X factor on land. I think Icy's trash talk alone would have probably been enough to win this series.
Well, woulda, coulda, shoulda, as you like to say. Hey, woulda, coulda, shoulda, brother. We're not on land. We're online. And at this point, VQ doesn't care about all that. Icy may dominate land, and I agree with you, but this isn't land. Bottom line, period. Rise just tweeted out, hey, good news. We get to play control next. And fair enough, they're looking for the brighter angle. They're looking for the silver lining. But you know what? It is good news they play control next, because we have been saying throughout MSP and even in Pro League that Rise is one of the best control teams out there. And they ended up winning Control Regency 300 to 213, right? That's when they took that 2-0 lead. Obviously, VQ answers back. So this is where it's going to be very telling. If VQ answers back, and they win this next control where we favored Rise, that's going to be 2 maps where we favored Rise to take a big lead. And if VQ takes that lead over Rise, it might be shaky after that point for Rise, in my opinion.
Yeah, it might be, okay? Now, when we entered this series, I said, and I want to hold this for a second, I said, Regency control and Clocktower execution I felt was going to go in favor of Rise. I felt Training Grounds, Escalation, and District Control was going to go in favor of VQ, but after that Clocktower came through, I see Rise winning this District Control. I see VQ taking the Escalation, Rise coming back into Harbor, and then we kind of flip-flop back and forth. VQ taking that Training Ground. I think Training Ground control is there towards the back end. I think VQ takes that one. And then we go to Tomb. And it's a coin flip there. We're going to have to gather intel once again and talk about our prediction there. We got to do this on a 2-map basis, okay? Because with this grand final showing as much stamina as it is, these squads are getting fatigued by maps 5 and map 6. You know, some players who are popping off early on in the series may not be their same selves there towards the back end. So this is where everyone on this squad has to come through. And one thing when it comes down to VQ, and I've said this during a Pro League, like Zaisho and Acells have been getting a lot of the shine. You know, Precision has had some good weeks, but you look at Precision's numbers, he's been chilling since Zaisho got on the squad, only because Zaisho has been having a great season. You know, it's his newest squad. He wants to make a great impression on everybody, and he's done just that. So some of those kills on the back end that Precision was getting is going in favor of Zaisho. But if him or Acells falters, Precision's just like, yeah, this is what I've been waiting for, man. I'm ready to eat now. I'm trying to come in here and get my MVP for the map. So I think VQ has more players on their team who has that go-off potential there in any of these series. So,
well, 100%
consistent.
Yeah, Hndles is really consistent. I mean, I've been saying that throughout all the Pro League, and I love watching Hndles on control. I think that's where he excels, in my opinion, because he's such a good positional player. He really is. And at times, specifically on Regency, you know, was highlighting him setting up spawn control for his team, right? Setting up spawn control for VQ. That can't be understated. And on District, it's a bit wonky where the spawns go, but it does play a key factor in some of those hills. But you know, you got to benefit Rise on this map. Historically, only because, again, their teamwork is incredible. I've always prided them on their Lancer Fire, their team fire, which is absolutely instrumental in getting a victory on District, specifically with all the angles and the windows that you can shoot out of. And you can really angle out basically any hill if you set up appropriately. But the thing about VQ that's scary, and this is what made VQ scary in my mind, whether it be the last D-Days that we witnessed or even the last couple of weeks of Pro League, was they were executing every single series they did. They were having fun, and we didn't see that in winners finals. We didn't see that in losers finals per se, but we're seeing it in grand finals, which means and tells me VQ is feeling comfortable.
Yeah, they're feeling really, really comfortable. Every player is excelling at their role. You got, as I'm saying, they're excelling at their roles. Great team fight here for Hndles, but you know, as I was saying, you know, Hndles is winning a lot of big 1v1s. You know, Zaisho is there with the support and the power weapons. You got Precision out here slaying, and Acells is like an accumulation of all 3 of those players in one there if they was like defuse or something. And so VQ is in that full form, but we come back over here towards Rise, okay? Beautiful initial win for him. 3-man setup around the hill. The intel is there. Now Icy, he's just looking for that support fight, but he gets crossed from the side.
He gets crossed everywhere. He gets crossed everywhere.
Rise, they're backing up. in a defensive position, trying to hold the line. Avexys moving up here, trying to get some damage, but at this point it's scrap time, and these other members of Rise coming off the respawn need to rotate to next.
Yeah, I mean, this is really, I mean, it's good that VQ fought for that, but ultimately you have to focus on Nu. And in fact, look at where Rise spawns. So you got to question, should VQ have even challenged the scrap time, or should they have focused on Nu? Because now you look at their positioning, you look where Rise spawned up, Blaze. I don't think it helped them at all.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure, because we are going to be moving down to... Actually, it did help them. They're good.
No, it absolutely helped them. But VQ, it didn't help them at all. So that's what I was saying. You got to question, do they even challenge Bandstand for
Especially from the side of the map in which they were pushing on, it was almost a given that Rise was going to spawn over here. And I think VQ should have known that. But a boom shot in hand. We'll see if it gets put to good use. Precision, able to pick up a kill. There's the boom shot on DeToX. Now with Icy left by his lonesome and Juice. VQ, they take their time. They angle him out. Rushiez is next on the hit list, and they're gathering points in his heal. He just needs to stay alive. And I will say this, Rushiez will be the key factor on if Rise wins this district map. It's going to be based off his performance.
You've been saying that. You're pretty consistent with that statement, Blaze. I mean, you know, I think
Rushiez in control, man. He does a lot. And when he's playing well, he looks dominant.
Yeah, kind of like Hndles, right? I mean, Rushiez is a player that gets a lot of pressure put on him, especially in chat, and I think for the fan base of Rise and the fan base of other teams, they're always harping on Rushiez, and he always has this expectation. I think going into any series that he needs to perform well, and obviously he has been performing well. That's why they are here, and you got to give credit where credit is due. Rushiez is an incredible player in his own right, but with the misplay from VQ earlier, challenging the scrap time of Cinema, it seems as if they weren't fazed by it at all, and they do have a minor lead, but Rise is looking to take that lead back in their control. They'll take down Hndles, who had rotated a little bit earlier on. This is the third boom shot VQ's got off the rip. Zaisho needs to put it to good use. It's going to be instrumental in taking over the new hill.
Yeah, it definitely will be. Rise, they're set up deep in this spawn as well. Acells and Zaisho here at the front door. They need player 6 to get behind enemy lines. Tie game, lead change for Rise. Nice. Beautiful boom shot over the top.
Oh, nice response
from Icy. It's not going to be able to clog up the door just yet, but the focus fire is there from Rise. They know they're in control because the damage in which they put out, VQ cannot recover from. Rise, the pressure's applied, but VQ make it through the front door. They won't be able to get any kills. Just a little bit of time contested on the hill. And now this is where Rise needs to take a breather and get set up again.
Yeah, shout out to Icy, by the way. I mean, talk about just pure discipline to hold on to that instant, time it perfectly. What looked to be an advantage for VQ, taking DeToX out of that corner with the boom, turned into a disastrous finish once Icy connected onto that player from VQ, obviously pushing in with the instant. So shout out to him, keeping calm, cool, and collected. DeToX now in a tough spot, and he's going to get angled out, but Avexys looking to be the hero, and what a play from him. He takes down one, and he gets the second.
Here comes Icy. I got you, brother. Don't worry about it. Clean your kill up. The setup as this hill is going to be shifting down low towards Bandstand. Rise. They're set up. They got 2 players set up to be able to hold the line for now. DeToX is going to be trapped between multiple members. Rushiez is able to take out the player on the opposite Juice. He needs to cross for DeToX. Won't be able to help him in time, but he should be able to slow down these players coming out of Juice currently as Rise gathering a lot of time off this hill. Icy with the hot hands once again. Rushiez, he's doing a fantastic job putting out damage. DeToX got a great respawn. Avexys picks up a kill.
Oh, I thought Hndles was going to be able to get it.
For Rise, and they get another boom shot.
And DeToX staring Hndles down. You can really feel the tension. Both teams, VQ's throwing at him, and Rise is throwing it right back in terms of the trash talk, virtual trash talk. At least that's the best it gets. But I'm loving the competitiveness. But with Rise having the edge at the moment, VQ are forced to fight so hard, and this could be a great boom. I mean, everybody from VQ is lining up. Avexys, you gotta shoot it, brother. Don't hold on to it too long.
Well, yeah, he waited a little bit too long for that. Oh,
no! It's getting played. Yeah, you gotta shoot it. You gotta shoot it.
Gotta die for him. They back up. What's the time?
That's a
18
wasted
seconds?
boom.
No, it's not.
Oh,
that's a wasted
no.
boom. No, that's a wasted one, Taylor. Okay, thank you for the caster's curse on the Rise Nation fans.
It wasn't caster curse. He had 3 people from VQ lined up in a Congo line.
It was scrap time. The rotation was great.
We'll take the 3-piece.
I don't care. You
just
want the triple boom kill.
Man,
look at this though. Vanquish pushing through the spawn. 4-man aggression. I'm loving the wolf pack. They're taking the right hand. Rise trying to get the kills from the inside. Beautiful work from Icy picking up the double. Now they cut back. They acquired a third, and Rise will be able to fortify around Pergola. Nicholas Cool coming in clutch.
Oh my, Icy stops my heart, brother. Like, that was a good play. That was a good I'm just happy to be a part of this grand finals as a caster with you, Blaze, because I'm having a blast. I thought loser bracket finals was great, winners bracket finals was good, but grand finals is just, this is the competition at its highest, and Rise is popping off. Rushiez is popping off. Icy's having his field day of Avexys. DeToX having his moments, but VQ's looking silly. Oh, looking silly.
As Zaisho, he gets cleaned up here. A blunder when it comes down to that incendiary grenade. Boom shot picked up from Avexys. He goes down. Quick revive. Great communication there from Rise. Almost went for the long range boom, trying to catch those 2 players coming out of juice, but he's not going to be that wild with this single boom shot that he has. Instead, he's in a prime position to cap this heal. Now, all Rise needs is the incendiary grenades, because this position that Precision is in, when you get incendiary grenades, you solidify the max amount of time in which you can get on this heal, because you keep the cap from down low, and you get your lineups there in that little cubby corner at the top of the stairs, and as soon as the spread goes away, you throw the second one, and you keep stacking on that time. Now, Rise, they get the kills in the juice, and they put the squeeze here on Vanquish. Now, they just got to squeeze whatever points they can get off this hotel hill.
No, they're going to have to squeeze. I mean, they're going to have to pinch their pennies, brother. They're going to have to, I don't know, man, hire an accountant, figure out how many points they need off of this hill and that hill and so on and so forth. Because Rise is, like I said, they're making VQ look silly on this map, much like VQ made Rise look silly on Escalation Training Grounds. Let's be real, that 5-0, but how the tables have turned, and it looks like this is going to be the final couple of hills coming up for VQ unless they pull off some major heroics. But, they are pushing in, and they're giving a great fight over towards Rise, and this could be a solid 40 points for VQ.
As Acells trying to move in, he will be able to get both these kills. So as you said, Taylor, a solid 40 points for VQ. It's just 30 remaining. Rise will be set up back at the top portion of the map, getting ready for the second rotation of heals, trying to figure out how do they want to get set up, how many players do they need watching the spawn, and how many do they want on the forefront, trying to gather intel, gather numbers. They currently have, I like to say, a breathable defense. They're gathering intel, and they're shifting, they're moving, they're not being too stiff on this, where they make the plays so easy for Vanquish. First incendiary grenade is out. Rise still feeling comfortable as they're ready for next. And the second's out. Great bait from Rushiez. Rise still feeling comfortable here, folks. They're in a great position to win this team fight, but here comes VQ.
VQ's definitely coming in with a vengeance, and they weren't successful, if you remember, off this original hill, but they might not be successful yet. I thought that was going to be a positive note for Acells, but look at Rise collapsing, making it happen. Now, Zaisho could pick up the boom. Oh, wait a second. Avexis is going to be on his flank. Zaisho forced to dip away. Avexis gets the quick pick, and he gets the elim on Hndles. This should be a Rise game very shortly. Avexis almost messed that play up, getting too aggressive at the start, but folks, everything happens for a reason, because he spawned up just at the nick of time to get that boom shot. Rise still holding the heel. DeToX moves in, says, Icy, I'll revive you after the fact, as he gets the double kill. Plenty of time in this hill, Taylor, for Rise to win this map and take their lead back. Plenty of time indeed. Like I said, I think it's over with. 10 points away. Rise just needs scrap time at the moment. VQ knows this is all but over but the crying. I don't know what Colin says, but 2 more points. Will they get it? 395. And that was the most dominant control we have seen. We've only seen one. Let me put some tape on that. We've only seen one. It was Regency control, but that is a solid response to the 5-0 beatdown that Rise just suffered to VQ on Escalation Training Grounds. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, though, Grand Finals will continue. We're moving into checkout execution. Welcome back to one incredible grand finals for Mid-Split Playoff Split 3. I'm Taylor Reflections Double, joined by Guy Blaze, and man, like I said, VQ beats down Rise 5-0 on Escalation Training Grounds, to be expected, but that 5-0 victory I know was definitely good for VQ, but then Rise answers immediately, and Icy, just so disgusting in this play, and through and through, he was just setting the precedent, setting the pace, and that man he's just scary. Icy's scary, bottom line.
Yeah, he is terrifying in the grand finals, and you know, when it comes down to it, I'm expecting grand final performances when it comes down to Icy and Rushiez, because they've been in these moments before at a higher level than anyone in this lobby. Yeah, you got players on VQ who've been in grand finals, but they haven't been on the main stage grand finals like Icy and Rushiez. So they should feel like the two best players in this lobby, and if they play like that, Rise can definitely come away with a grand finals title, as well as DeToX and Avexys first. So that'd be really good to do for your brothers in the Rise organization. But VQ, man, they are not giving up. Rise, that was a great bounce back map to get this, like I said, get this lead back in their favor. Now, as I was talking about this map cycle earlier, Taylor, I told you I feel like we're going to a map number 9, all right? And I said
100%.
which ones we're about to trade off. Rise once again with another dominant district control. I think we're gonna see VQ take checkout. I think we see Rise take harbor. I think we see VQ take control. And if the trend is right, Rise should take that last map, but we're definitely going to a map number 9. But let's focus here on his next map coming up on checkout.
Yeah, check out execution, and I'm with you, Blaze. I'm in VQ's court at this point. I think they're going to take checkout. It's a map that I think benefits them more so than that of Rise. Rise has to find a way to pace it out and set the precedent, set the pace, if you will, because VQ's not going to be shy about applying that pressure, being aggressive, in your face. Precision is the guy that I'm going to be on the lookout for, because his pushes sometimes are brutal. You know, we've seen him pick up some tremendous play in the checkout stands. I expect him to do much the same here. I was looking at Pro League. When it comes to checkout, VQ has yet to lose that in Pro League in general. They've only played it a handful of times, but they didn't lose. Now, on the other side for Rise, they have played it, 3 or 4 times, and they've lost more so than they have won on checkout specifically. But still, those stats not too crazy, because it wasn't their main map they were played. We know Rise, they favored Clocktower, and then for VQ, they were kind of, all over the place, but they played a lot of Canals. They played a lot of Clocktower themselves. But checkout, I'm with you. VQ is going to be instrumental, but like I said, VQ, they're going to be aggressive. What does Rise do to set the pace for themselves?
Well, what Rise is going to have to do, I think they need to play off Icy towards his towards his mid lane and back lane. His aggression back there, rather if it comes down to him fighting for the incendiary grenades, playing for that snipe in the back, Icy needs to set the pace for his team, getting some big kills, and make sure that they're focusing in the same areas of the map, because when it comes down to the execution, you just got to get first blood. It's that first focus, the focus fight that you can have on that first kill. That comes through. The rest should be able to trickle down as your opponents are trying to desperately make some plays. But we'll find out what strategy Rise has coming into this map, folks. They got the 3-2 lead and feeling comfortable. But VQ, let's see if they can get this one tied up once again, 3-3. This is the grand finals. I hope you all have a great time at home. Are you changing your predictions? Are you still going for who you're going for?
I know I'm still going for who I'm going for. I'm not changing it. I'm not like that, okay? I don't change things once I make my pick. So I'm still sticking with Rise, but I think VQ is going to answer back. But hey, look at this start for Rise. You talk about flawless, all 4 members up for Rise, and well, nobody really up for VQ at this point. They're in shambles. Hndles knows it, and he just goes straight into Icy and DeToX. And well, they're not going to be shy about the beatdown and letting Hndles and VQ know the Rise, they are in it to win it. And there goes his head, man. Hndles, we'll see you later. Let's, I guess, get stacked up for round 2.
Yeah, I think that's most important here. And we highlight Icy to come into this round, and he made some big plays at that inner secondary. He has some support fire coming in from that wide lane as well. Good job there off the initial round number 1. But moving over to round number 2, VQ, they're going to have that advantageous side with the right hand that Rise just had. We'll see if they can capitalize in the same fashion which they did. Icy does not get a stun with that flash. He knows that players are on the platform. DeToX tries to get a good shot, but now Icy has to dodge the flames, trying to make a play. DeToX goes down, as well as Avexys. but Icy taking out just one more member remaining, and Rushiez can't get to the fight in time.
Nope, can't get there, and you know what time it is. You know what time. Hey, this is going to be one of those again, like I said it before. You know what? This execution could be, 6-7 minutes, but now it's going to be 20, and I'm here for it because both teams want to execute at the end of it, and honestly, they have every right to do so.
And if you're a fan of any of these teams taunting on screen, you can make fun of the other fans in chat if you want to. I hope I didn't start nothing.
Please do.
Hey,
please do. I want to see it.
And we know where you put your channel points on at, okay? It says it next to your username, so it ain't no flip-flopping for y'all. But if these players are out here beating down each other on screen with the executions, we can get some in-chat executions. Be kind with the emotes.
Hey, I'm all for chat getting riled up. I really am, but it's going to make the mods' life harder, and I'm not going to be a part of that.
Ace.
You know, hey, don't be sorry, Blaze. Hey, let's get that energy going in chat.
Jacob.
Maybe support your team as a Rise or VQ. Well, in this moment, that instance connecting DeToX is down. It's a 4v2, and VQ, they're angry, and they're making the most of it. Rushiez last alive, and he's going to get out of there quickly with the nades, man. He says, I'm not getting beat down this time.
Oh man, Rushiez, man, he comes in, helps make the play, but ultimately, he tried to, but ultimately VQ, over these last 2 rounds, man, great starts for them. They're getting these first bloods, they're cleaning up these kills. They were able to put a lot of focus on Icy at that secondary. We'll see if they can do it again. As we're on board with Precision, he's going to put that flash on the back end of that platform to try to stop the hop up, but he has to disengage. Icy missed the point blank shot, but he can step in for Acells. He wanted the incinerator grenades.
Watch this.
The flame won't connect. It's still a 4v4.
It literally went in between, like, every member from VQ. I am shocked that VQ just got blessed that the spacing was correct. But Icy does have one more, and you mentioned Rushiez obviously having the nades is going to be great, but the instants are gone. And VQ, they're going to continue to push up. They're pushing up, brother.
From downtown, 2 free throws. 1 gonna connect. For 2.
It took a while, but it finally blew up.
The damage is there.
We waited on it too, man. We heard the ding. We heard it blow up, but nobody was connected onto. Now, Zaisho with the snipe in hand. That is going to be a huge mountain to get over at this point. But one of the good things for Rise is they were able to reset, create that space, and create the distance between the two. But how do you go about this if you're Rise?
Ooh, man.
Oh, he's going for it.
Zaisho's going to keep doing this. Like, Rise can't peek. Zaisho was intentionally trying to get players to shoot at him. He knows how much damage he can take, and that's why he's staying mobile. I think this hill is at the platform. I wouldn't peek up at all if I'm Rushiez. Rise is going to have to play this last hill with confidence. They're just going to have to rush who's ever there. We see both squads rotating. Zaisho's missing his shots here. The hill will be across map at the nades. But can Rise get anything to fight with this? It's all the way at electronics.
They're rotating. They're going for it. Zaisho's going to be the first one there. Oh, nice body shot. You got to finish. You got to get it. Oh, he's trying to sneak up, though. It's going to be Rushiez. He's going to get it. Rushiez going to get 1. It's going to be a 2v1. Oh, it's a 1v1. It's a 1v1.
I'm going for the revive if I'm Rushiez. Icy just needs to crawl. Oh,
yo,
no,
where's he going? Where are you going? What are you doing? Precision!
He had to,
Precision!
I guess. Hey, you know what? No, actually, no, he did it. He did it. He could have took his fight against Rushiez. That would have been a better play. Or maybe he pours out his Lancer to clean up Icy. But as he crawls, he tucks himself, I think. No, he's still in the open.
No.
Precision had a few different options of cleaning up that kill.
But he didn't have to do that. He didn't have to. No, he has to focus on the player that's alive and in the hill. In my opinion, you know more than me. You really do, and I admit. But for me, that was a bit of a misplay from Precision because he literally opened himself up to get Nashered out. I mean, he really did. There was no coverage.
Icy would have tapped up. That's why he crawled away, which he did.
Fair enough. You're right. But either way, tough spot to be in for him. 1v2 and obviously gets taken care of, and Rise will answer back quickly in 27 seconds, and that is going to be 3-2 as VQ looks to answer back in round 6. We'll see if they can. If Rise wins this, They will put them at 4 map wins in total. Therefore, 1 away. Yeah, series be on a series point. Not for this one, but the next one, folks.
All right, here we go. Heading into round number 6 here. 3-1, typical strategy between both these squads. VQ gets some early intel from their 1v1 player. Acells smoked out, Rise as well, but Icy, he's gonna push his way right through it. Goes down immediately. VQ trying to capitalize, but Rise, they've gotten their footing again. Now they're putting out the damage and they're getting the kills, and Rushiez is winning his 1v1, and the round is over.
Not even a beatdown either. Ice says it's all business now. They got the suits on. They're ready to take their picture with the trophy at this point, Blaze. They absolutely are ready, and VQ's got to answer back, and I'm curious if that round, that precision loss rattled them.
Yeah, well, no, I don't think it should have. It was actually no, it should have, because they had the power weapon, they had the early rotation. Zaisho just had to kind of really hit his shots there. He had multiple players running at him in open area. He had to hit more body shots than what he did, but that was a few rounds ago. He can definitely make up for it here, and he needs to. 4-2 lead for Rise. They take the wide. Precision with incendiary grenades. Rushiez with the frag grenades. Precision pushes back these players at secondary, but he has one more nade he needs to utilize now. Rushiez misses his first. This is a great one. Cleans up one. Backing up against DeToX. Gets help. 2-man advantage here for Vanquish in a must-need round, unless Rushiez can go huge.
That nade from downtown connects onto Acells. Icy gets the snipe, but unfortunately, he's in a 1v3. Oh, he needed that shot. Rolls into Hndles. There's an opportunity still there, but he can't get it in time, and VQ will get a much-needed round, Blaze. A much-needed round.
Yeah, much needed indeed, man. Once I saw Rushiez got that nade kill and Icy's found that snipe on the ground and he pulled the scope up, I thought Rise could win it in that moment, but Rushiez, he got pinched from behind, went down on the platform, and it's VQ. Just one round from behind and getting this one all tied up 4-3. But yeah, Rise, they win this map. It's all the pressure on VQ as Rise just needs one more to close out this tournament. And they got 3 good maps coming up for them. You got a Harbor on Escalation. Yep. You got Trading Grounds on Control. And Tomb Execution is our last map of this cycle.
Overtime Hillblaze is going to be over in electronics, so we'll keep that in mind if it gets to that point. Icy on the plat will get this incense. Does he get picked up? He does, and a huge loss. 2 players down for Rise. VQ knows they have the advantage, and this round is quickly going to be over with. Yes, it will be. And that's going to be a VQ round. Icy tried to get those incense, but VQ did a great job finding out where he was, identifying the threat, and finishing him off before the team revive could come in and Icy could get away.
And, you know, great pings there off the start of the round for Rise. They're pinging specific players there so that they can be able to get up on that platform and kind of navigate through all those smokes and having that intel. Also to be able to focus fire any player that comes through the smoke. More importantly, that guy who's going towards secondary. But as we come here, it's round number 9. Precision and Icy both make it to the secondaries in these inner lanes safely. But lots of Lancer fire coming out. No one really having a clear advantage, but DeToX having to get his health back. He's not going to be a factor for long, but now he is a factor again because he gets your health back that quickly.
Got the health back. The reset is in. Everybody chilling out, finding out, or at least trying to develop a plan. Where is the move going to be? It could be Hndles versus Rushiez. Most likely not going to be, but it's probably going to be Precision or Zaisho. With their positioning or where they currently are at, I assume they might move forward. And you got to also watch player 6 of Acells in his positioning. He's going to be opposite of that of DeToX.
Enemy spotted.
But maybe Bryce pushes him back, so he's gone. That cross no longer in play, but he's right back into position. Where are you making the first move, Blaze?
Oh, it comes down to where the hill is, and this hill may be top platform. It may be over here to the right at the sniper.
I think it's going to be a checkout down low.
Now, the nade players, they can make the play. You know, either one of them can get mobile, move around the other, and see if they can, you know, create an opening. But both those players are relying on a 3v3 team fight on this side of the map. Oh, that was a big shot from VQ. Enough to force the Acells to roll out wide. Just enough damage to move out and make a play. VQ finds the prime opportunity. Multiple down, snipe picked up, and that will be the round. And as you can see, when it comes down to the best players in the world, one shot, one little bit of damage, they know what to do off of that. And honestly, when it comes down to an Astral Battle champion and an Acell and Hndles, they understand that damage is currency. So once that big shot went out towards the secondary, they made the move first, they executed, won the round, and it pays to be decisive there. VQ taking charge, and now they've taken the lead.
And that puts them at map point. And this is a map that they quite honestly need. You were just kind of highlighting the next maps coming forward for Rise. One of those being, Harbor Escalation.
9. Believe me if you won't.
You have to believe that Harbor is going to favor Rise, but for VQ, this is a great opportunity to at least give them some added insurance and tie up the series 3-3, but they have one more round to win. And Rise only needs 2, so that's not out of the question, and Acells barely gets away with his life.
Barely. We're at a stalemate, folks. I think one incendiary grenade will be left in the hands of DeToX, but he's going to get figured out. He's marked up. These players know, but he knows he's not marked now. A great lineup. Not doing a damn thing, though.
Sometimes it be that way, Blaze. Sometimes it be that way. Now still at that standstill. Icy fought tooth and nail. He fought hard for those ensigns, but ultimately they don't amount to anything. But that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Now we're going back to that last round kind of strategy. Who's going to hit that first shot? Who's going to get that damage to make the team feel confident enough to push up? Last time it was VQ. This time it could be Rise, but let it be known, VQ at map point, Rise has to be flawless.
Now, we talked a little bit about when it comes down to the nade players, how they can move around, try to force a fight, but Hndles knew he got a lot of damage off on Rushiez. I'm surprised he didn't push out a little bit wider than what he did. He'll be ready the next time if Rushiez wants to make a play off that right hand going in for nades, as he is right now. Look at him getting wide. Okay, Hndles like, bet, you want to fight? Let's fight.
Oh,
DeToX is being a
so
nuisance.
Weak.
I don't think, does Hndles have the same support? Yeah, he's about to get 2 players. He says, you got 1, I got 2, as the quick rotation's made for nades. But I think VQ cuts back. They give up the snipe to Avexys. They're going playing overtime for the nade hill. I think it's going to go center. So VQ timed this very well. It's in electronics. Miss snipe
it's in electronics.
Shot. 3 nades in hand. This is enough to win the round. This is enough to close it out.
VQ's got this.
Played it perfectly. They tied a series up 3-3, 4 straight rounds in a row. And man, we got a damn good grand finals on our hands.
Yes, we do. Like you said, it's going to go down to the final map without question. There's technically only 8 maps. So we're looking for a map 8. And the only reason why there's only 8 maps in a best of 9, you ask, well, that's because Rise came from winners. They had the 1-0 lead. They they need to be rewarded for not losing in winners. Bottom line, period. So that's their reward. So technically only 8 maps, but either way, I'm here for it. You love to see it. And I want a map number 8. I want a final map, Blaze. And I agree with you. We're moving there, but now we have Harbor Escalation coming up. And Rise have been lights out on this map recently.
Yeah, they have been, man. This is a great map for Rise to be able to get the lead back in their favor. And then they're going to have a lot of momentum going into that training grounds control, and which I think that's the map that they have to close the series out. I don't know how well Rise is going to fare when it comes down, how well Rise is going to fare when it comes down to tomb execution. But these next 2 maps, I'm feeling good for the Rise fans. You guys can relax. I know y'all lost this map. I get it. But the next 2, Harbor, Escalation, Training Grounds Control, Rise is really dominant, okay? So these boys are going to have a lot of confidence going into this series. VQ coming off this map win, they got to step it up, Taylor. But you look at this execution map, and, this was a big round here. That's where it was 4-1 in favor of Rise with that lead before VQ is going to start to absolutely dominate here. They were able to stop Rise from getting that platform. They slowed Icy down just enough where he was second guessing his gameplay. In VQ, they were able to make plays off the objective when it comes down to the tiebreaker heal, off the nades that they were able to grab off the platform, and just their patience in general. So good job to them to be able to close out this map. Now they're gonna have a tough task taking down Rise on Hardware Escalation.
Yes, sir, they are. But if they do, you've been highlighting, and I think rightly so, Rise on Training Grounds Control. They were a great team there, but make no mistake, Blaze, VQ is also a great team on Training Grounds Control.
Oh, they are.
Like,
I think they've
had some, they've had some incredible victories. So, in my opinion, this next map, Harbor Escalation, we do benefit Rise. But if VQ takes it, once we had bottom line period, whoever takes Harbor Escalation, when we go into TG Control, one of these teams is going to be at map 4, which means they're one map away from winning grand finals, and that's a scary spot to be in if you are that team. I mean, it's terrible if you have a deficit and you know you're heading into a Training Grounds Control, which is literally up in the air. Both teams are great at it. It's so. I mean, that's just so much pressure, Blaze, at that point.
It is, but you gotta love it, Taylor. I love the pressure. All right, when it comes down to esports, I don't know how many of y'all in the chat has ever competed in a tournament. I don't care if you were competing for 50 cent or 50,000. When you are in that finals matchup, when you are in that winner's bracket, or your back's against the wall in that loser's bracket, it brings the best out of you. You feel alive. It's the reason why these players have been playing this game, and we play esports and ranked games and any competitive title as long as we have, and we're probably going to be doing this until we're old. It keeps us young. It keeps our reactions loose.
It really does.
It keeps us sharp. These are the moments you live for here. Both these two teams, all 8 of these players are playing at the height of their competitive skill. All right, nothing but great gameplay coming out these squads, and we are in for a treat as no one has died yet here in this map number 7. It's a stalemate to start, but it is a B hill capture early on for Vanquish. We'll see. Sorry, not early on for early on for Rise.
Early on for VQ.
Oh, no, early on for Rise. B hill.
Oh, we got the scoreboard needs to be flipped. You're right. So early for Rise. Yeah.
So they're feeling good, but they're playing from a defensive position here. But VQ, they're making their way through. They're going to finally find a decap.
And in the decap, VQ staying alive just for a little bit longer, but Rise off the rip, like you said, does in fact get that advantage. But VQ, they're going to be scrappy. They're going to be scrappy, and that 2-1 puts on that pressure a little bit more. Avexys might have bit off more than it get true, but I digress. I mean, he doubles back, takes down Zaisho. Precision up the... Ooh, talk about a trade. Precision, he'll be finished off eventually, but that's just where we are right now in competition, brother.
That's it, folks, okay? Well, this is the grand finals, man. Our first grand finals for having control, execution, and escalation as our game modes. Y'all don't understand how long I've been waiting for this day, and if you have in the chat, make sure you put a 1, okay? But as we're in this round, it is gonna be Rise, not Vanquish, with a lead. And with Rise, they know that they have the 2, so they're playing a little bit more defensively, but Hndles gets in. He's gonna take cover, needs a quick revive, but Rushiez says, I got time, cleans up the kill, gets help, beautiful flash, the angle out comes through, but Zaisho holding his own and gets help from the top. Precision from downtown with precision fire. Trip cap domination coming through. VQ with the reversal in the rebuttal. They take round number 1.
Huge round for them to take, especially with how well Rise started off the rip. They basically got that 2-1 for free. They got it pretty easily, but now you have VQ answer back and takes the rug from out underneath the feet of Rise. That is a big vicctory, and again, a massive win, because if you think about Escalation in general, currently VQ is 6-0. If you take in the fact of that Training Grounds 5-0 beatdown. So right now, VQ's on top of the world.
Oh, they are. They're feeling good off that round, but don't worry, Rise fans. They're not going to take that one laying down. I think this round right here, Rise is about to check VQ with something fierce, but we'll see what happens. I think DeToX is going to be the perfect player to follow. Early flashes out. He dodges too, holding his ground. Now needs to move in. Help from the back. Double down for VQ. But can they make the play? They take out Icy. And this may be the quickest trip cap domination that we've seen so far throughout the day. Unless Rushiez can do something about it. Can he make the play?
I don't know.
Situation. Patience. Beautiful from Rushiez. Beautiful side roll. But it's not enough time. VQ's defense is there. Great effort from Rise, but VQ feeling good.
Yeah, man, that was finger looking good, brother. VQ handled their business. 39 seconds. Would have been quicker if Rushiez didn't get the touch, but you have to fight for it. You got to try after all. And Icy, he's been popping off all night, but at least for the first 2 rounds, no eliminations to his name.
You're going to have to step it up here soon, okay? When it comes down to escalation for Rise, their 2 top performers, Icy, DeToX, okay? Actually, I take that back. Icy, Avexys are their 2 top performers when it comes down to escalation. It's Icy and DeToX for execution, and Rushiez runs control, right? That's so far been a trend of this squad and how these players have stepped up for each other when they need them the most. So we'll see what plays Avexys and Icy can make, but let's not get it twisted, man. DeToX, Mr. MVP himself, okay? 3X is at the back of his name for a reason, as he's looking to get nasty at the winch, holding his ground. His teammate backs up for him, but DeToX isn't faltering. Now he's trying to take over the fight. Help is there. But Avexys will make the play. Now DeToX feeling comfortable and confident. He goes down, made the play too quickly, and that's gonna make his squad crumble. He needed to hold his position. He had help, but he needs this. Can he do it? He takes 1 kill to the grave. I think that's great for him.
I don't know, Blaze, because now you got player 1. Precision's going to be on that stir, and he's going to be able to Lancer out Rushiez and Co as they decide to push in for B. Meanwhile, though, you do have player 7 who's going to go for the challenge and maybe push Precision back, at least distract him, but hold up a second. They don't need any help. Acells is handling his business. One more player to get through, and that cross for Precision helped. He drops him in VQ. Do I dare say they go for the overextension? No, they pump the brakes. That's the right play call.
Yeah, it is the right play call here. They know Rise is kind of feeling desperate, so this is a perfect example for me to explain to you guys about changing up the pace. VQ just won 2 rounds in a row. They got 150 points to Rise's 92, and it's growing close to a 100-point lead. They don't got to do much, okay? They know that Rise is going to play desperate, so they're going to use this opportunity to make it as difficult as possible and bring more anxiety to Rise to have to make this perfect play. As time is ticking, VQ with a sound defense, as soon as the fight breaks out, they'll end up changing gears and start trying to get aggressive and move for the home hill of Rise and start making it a little bit more complicated. But they are very well versed when it comes down to understanding the pace of the game. And now on a back foot, the defense isn't breaking. Rise can't figure it out in the late game, and VQ dominate this round. They're gonna go up 3-0 here on this escalation, folks. They're feeling good, shooting bodies. Mad disrespectful.
Brother.
Don't forget what I told y'all in the chat.
Brother.
Where the VQ fans at?
They're getting rid of that logo. They're getting rid of that logo, man. That logo was on the ground and said, no. That's not how that happens. Get that out of here. Shoot that, man. Hey, VQ fans, I hate to say this, but rise up at this point, okay? Let Rise know in chat. You guys aren't to be messed with. If you count the training grounds, 5-0 beatdown, that is 8 escalation rounds in a row for VQ in grand finals.
Ooh, damn, you right.
That's I don't tell. I'm a truther. I'm not a liar. I'm gonna tell you the truth.
You definitely not.
I'm gonna lay it out there. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just letting you know. Who got that? Is Zaisho? Yo, hold up a second. Hey, you don't need a kill when you pull it up like that. Zaisho's that guy. He wants a championship, okay?
Like Z Killer.
Look at him right now. Look at him right now, Blaze.
Out here looking like high distortion.
Oh, hold up a second. Now you bringing out the HD, okay?
The support show. I may have been wrong about this map and the next map, because VQ ain't losing anything in escalation, you guys. Hey, I'm sorry, Rise fans.
VQ is that team.
Dub.
VQ is that team.
This is a dub.
Oh my gosh, 4-0.
This ain't it.
That's 9 in a row.
Get us out of here.
That's 9 in a row. It's over with. Hey.
Rise forgot how to play Escalation.
What's next? Control Training Grounds? That's where we need to go.
So when it comes down to Control Training Grounds, the strategy we want to talk about, let me not get ahead of myself, okay?
Don't get ahead. I wasn't opening up a discussion with you, Blaze. I was just saying, this map is over with.
I intentionally started the discussion, okay?
We need to go to Control Training Grounds. Like, that, it's over with.
Like now.
Like right now.
You know, I don't want to see, like, I just don't want Rise to have the score line of losing 2-5-0 escalations back to back, okay?
If you combine, pull up the scoreboard real quick, just real quick.
It's
2, 4, 6,
straight
7
rounds.
7 eliminations for VQ in total. That matches one of the players on Rise who has 7 eliminations. Everybody else has more. So basically, all members of Rise have more deaths than the entire team of VQ combined. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm a storyteller. I'm just telling a story. That's it. That's all I'm doing. I'm just telling a story.
No, I'm not. It's not even about the story. I'm just looking at what's on my screen. I'm just looking at this dominant 5th round. VQ ain't playing around. The angles that Zaisho has, I don't even think he has a kill. But I do think he got like 20 assists.
Ooh, that's it. Roll it up. Roll it up.
Pick him up. Don't
Roll
join
it up.
your squad.
Like the Mafia, put Rise in a rug, send it off to the dump, brother. It's over with. I don't even know where Rise went. That's 10-0.
That's 14 straight rounds in round-based game modes for Vanquish. They're forcing Rise to have to win this control on training grounds.
And that's scary.
We're going to close this one out on the execution if Rise takes that one. Folks, don't look at the scoreboard. When we come back, we're going to training grounds control. Series point. We're going to come down to a conclusion of this series. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to Grand Finals of the Mid-Split Playoffs for Split 3. Hey, guys, we're down to our final 2 maps in a series, okay? Control Training Grounds, Execution Tomb. But one thing is for certain, Rise is they are thanking their lucky stars, Blaze, that there are no more Escalation maps in this rotation because Escalation, Rise is just not pulling up. They are literally 10-0 in Grand Finals when it comes to Escalation.
Yeah, man. They truly are. VQ, they have fought back in this series to get their first lead, to put all the pressure on Rise to win this Grand Finals. You know what, honestly, guys, I didn't think Rise was going to fall behind this series so soon. Not going into the training ground controls. You know, I foreseen it wrong, but VQ, man, and Escalation, they have been dominant all day long. I don't think they've lost more than 3 rounds throughout the entirety of the day. Don't quote me, but it's damn close. Okay, they get another set of back-to-back maps to take the lead in this series, but now we're going to training grounds control, folks. Okay, and you know, even in now we're going to training grounds control, and I think we're about to see Rise really turn up here. I truly do.
I hope so.
I truly do.
Why?
They've
Tell
won
me
every
why.
control. They've won every control so far in this series. They've won the Regency. They've won the district, and they came into this series with a 1-map lead. Yeah. But hey, Vanquish, when it comes down to execution and escalation, they have not dropped the ball, and that's game number 5. Rise has already lost their opportunity by winning this on a control, and they have to win one of these round-based game modes somewhere. Okay,
they gotta try.
We got 3 different game types.
They gotta try.
They're lucky that they came from the winner's side of the bracket. They're only winning controls, so this is a must win for them.
Absolutely a must win. It's not going to be easy, though, with the way VQ is slaying out. Okay, that's the biggest thing that I'm looking at, and the confidence that they have, Blaze. This is going to be a tricky map for Rise. I believe in Rise's ability to swarm on a hill, take it over. They're great like that. I mean, if you look overall from Winners Final when they played against VQ, you look at their performance here in Grand Finals, they have won control a total of 4 times over that of VQ. So there's no indication as to why VQ should win this, but other than the fact that they have the momentum and they've been slaying out and they feel on top of the world. So at this point, VQ, for me, that momentum should carry them forward. But who knows? Rise is great at control, and they're not going to be easy to deal with.
I I love the play that Hndles just made. Granted, the play that was the best one was the 3v4 team fight that Vanquish just won. But Hndles, he got the drop shot and he flipped the map to take good side for next. And now he just needs to back up, control that other side of the map, and he's going to make sure no one gets behind him. So beautiful initial strategy from Vanquish coming over from the Cog side. Rise, they overloaded the overlook in this U area, but they just didn't use the extra. They didn't capitalize on that extra man advantage.
Big drop shot out. Zaisho connects on the Icy. Avexys, though, with the vengeance onto Acells. He's going to continue to progress forward. Zaisho, Hndles up ahead. 25 seconds here, and you can tell what Rise's next game plan is going to be. Look at player 5, right? Icy is setting up for next. He wants to be the front runner in case Rise doesn't win this fight, but it seems as if they're going to. But VQ's still there. But honestly, at this point, once they die off, they should be spawning at new because Icy rotated early on. So this is a heads-up play, and there's player 7, there's player 8. So next hill is where Rise should be able to catch up.
All right, here, Rise, man, they need this heal, and like you said, they are going to be set up 40-0, but Vanquish picking up that kill. They know that they have a 2-man advantage with one coming off the respawn. Yeah, Rise was set up, but they need to go huge. Avexys, he needs a kill to come through now. He buys enough time for help to come through. DeToX is there towards the back lane. Hndles backed up in the corner, but with his back against the wall, he fights his way through.
Giving the love too, man. Hey, he's giving it. Man. Hey, hold it. No, hold that. What's wrong with that?
He got a family.
Hey, but you know what? That family doesn't matter right now. What matters now is that DeToX is in that corner and Zaisho is having his way because, I mean, come on. With the way Rise rotated early and then VQ flawlessly takes it over, Rise doesn't even get a single point and VQ's at 63 plus. Hey, Zaisho could do that.
Now, VQ trying to defend against this Rise assault. Rise is doing really well. They dodge the drop. They're feeling a sigh of relief, but it's not over yet. The focus fire needs to come through. Lancer fire from 3 different angles. Can Rise find a kill? Rushiez takes out Zaisho, but it's Acells on the flank, making a play needed for VQ to be able to lock in the remaining 30 points at his heal. Rise will spawn in on the other side of the map. Things will start to slow down, and now VQ is going to take their time to talk about how do they want to approach this next team fight.
Rise made a massive mistake by not sending a player to challenge Precision for balcony control. Precision had the high ground. He was able to Lancer down easily and assist his teammate who was coming through tunnel just to his right. That is a mistake Rise ended up paying for and something they have to capitalize on the next rotation and even on the next hill where Zaisho is currently at. Now, the good thing for Rise is they do set up early on, but Acells is already challenging Overlook. This is a great play from him. If he can win this 1v2, which isn't going to be easy at all, but that is going to open up the door wide and take a massive advantage and a massive angle away from Rise. He's just got to get through DeToX. Acells versus DeToX. DeToX gets the elimination, but on the other side, VQ looks as if they're going to be collapsing as well, and Rise holds on, and they can start closing out the deficit.
All right, now the real control game is about to start, folks. Rise with a sigh of relief. They win the most important. They win their first team fight, really, to be able to get back here and get set up. If they win the next, they'll be able to get this rotation over towards the range. The damage is there. Zaisho goes down. They have the angle fire from Overlook. Hndles can't make a play. Acells can't come out with no miracles this time around. And it's Rise with a beautiful team fight. Now they need to think about next, and that's exactly what they're doing. But VQ spawn was damn near perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a hill that obviously you can accumulate quite a few points on, but I love the fact that Rise respects and understands. Oh, Rushiez has a good spot.
No.
Oh, he missed a shot on Zaisho, brother. But the drop shot's in. Acells is gone. Rise, they're going to get the points off this next hill. You'd have to assume, but DeToX is down. Precision has to cross, and Zaisho's in, and Rushiez is down too. And a total collapse from Rise, and VQ recovers. Very well done from them, but Avexis with the nades. Things could get tricky for Zaisho.
And no more drop shots, so that's Rise's saving grace. Next isn't even here yet. That's what we need to understand. That was a team fight while scrap time was happening. That's the best time to lose a team fight, okay? But with nades in the hands of Avexys, he has to be perfect here. If not, by the time this fight breaks out, it's going to be time to rotate once again. Luckily for Rise, it's a close game. Zaisho stuck in a corner. Players to his left, his right. Reinforcements come through. Beautiful shots from the crouch of the cover, but it's Ryze who will win this engagement, Taylor.
Oh, they coming back.
At time, no one for VQ in the area. And our next heal will move back on over towards Monument. And we're going to start. Actually, it's not going to move over towards Monument. It's going to go over towards the Overlook. And we got VQ, got a few players set up.
Well, one good thing that Ryze is doing is they're attacking this side of the map, which is exactly what you need to do. Having plat control on this next hill is going to be huge, and they respect that. They know that, but VQ, they also know how important this side is. And they're going to fight tooth and nail for it. So this is an important fight for not only VQ, but also for Ryze. Meanwhile, you have the 1v on Overlook. Zaisho going toe-to-toe with that of DeToX, and DeToX wins. That's going to be big. Now he's going to be able to go through and challenge that up precision. But again, Ryze needs to win the fight on the other side, but VQ is standing their ground, and therefore they should have great success. But then again, Ryze is pushing in from Overlook. There's just a lot of moving pieces, but I don't know. My gut tells me VQ is going to win this this hill and garner a lead.
Well, VQ, man, with that down coming in, Ryze has a slight height advantage. They just need one down to be able to win this fight, and they don't get it. Hndles able to win a fight, and by that time, Acells is already on a flank. And it was, and VQ will move on over towards Monument. I was right the first time, and now they'll be set up. They have two players towards Heaven. They got one at Overlook, who's going to be, actually, he's at Underpass. And Hndles will back up, but I love this angle that he has because anyone across from Overlook, he can flank them from under, or he can just, you know, be a nuisance and have his 1v1 and get support from this player up top from Precision. But instead, he groups up with his teammates still. A solid defense for Vanquish, and it's only a 23-point lead. This is not the time for Ryze to get frantic. We may even get to a third rotation of heals the way these two teams are playing.
A third rotation? Could you imagine?
Probably not, bro. Deep in a second.
I literally haven't seen that. I don't think it always is just, you know, a second rotation, but a third rotation would be.
No, it was a game, man. It was E United versus Ryze, I think.
Earlier
Regency.
in winners?
And Regency, it was at the end of Pro League. We almost got to 3 rotations with them on Regency because it was so slow.
Yeah.
They were getting ready for this event here, the way that they were playing.
All right, well, we might get to that point. I mean, this is neck and neck. And this is the thing, right? It's grand finals. Ryze knows that VQ is one map away from winning this event. And being, you know, breaking that mold and obviously being, you know, champions twice, at least for the majors that we've currently had online. But at this point in time, Ryze also knows, look, we've got to play this safe. We've got to play cautiously, but we also can't turtle back. And Hndles puts Rushiez on skates. And that's going to be a big elim because now he can join Zaisho, but an even bigger name will take down Precision and Acells. And Ryze fighting tooth and nail for this hill. And this hill's so hard to break. VQ spawns on the other side of the world.
But guess what? Zaisho got the drop and backed up. Okay, he was composed, and yeah, it's a hard one to break, but if you got a drop shot, your odds go extremely high. Speaking of high,
he couldn't get away.
Zaisho catches him over the top. Man advantage for VQ as Acells is soaking up damage. He needs a revive, and help is there. Him and Zaisho, they crowd up there in the inside at the end of the team fight. It is a victory for Ryze. Great job there to Icy and Avexys for holding that line.
Yeah, well done indeed. Would have liked to see more Lancer fire. That's why VQ was able to push up as they did. But hey, Avexys and Icy handled their own, and they made it happen. Avexys tries to dip away with the frags, but unfortunately can't do so. Precision will angle him out, take him down. Ryze with a narrow lead, and we are now at the fresh start, right? This is where we started over on Overlook, and we're back to the original hills where VQ was able to accumulate a 60-0 lead, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh man, it was a fantastic start for VQ, but Ryze slowly, hill after hill, adjusting, working together, tightening up. They was able to just squeeze out a little lead for them, but they know it's not over. And I know they're not even thinking about the score. They're just in a perfect flux, in that flow state of performance here as they are competing hill after hill. All 8 players in this lobby as Ryze is trying to break through the defense of VQ. A flash over the top is going to be 2. No connection, and VQ's defense is so strong. Hndles with a beautiful cross here. Zaisho goes down, but in Actually, Zaisho is not going down. Only thing that's going down is the Rise players, as now VQ was thinking about this next rotation. They just took the lead back. But Rise, they got a beautiful spawn.
They do, but let me bring up history, Blaze. Remember, Rise had a beautiful spawn last time because IC rotated early and they lost the first fight. Again, VQ off these last 2 hills, they took a 60-point lead. But this time, Rise is smarter than that, and I love the fact that they're pushing Zaisho, and they also have plat control. Avexys needs to win this fight. Precision was too instrumental last time. Precision now getting angled out. DeToX needs to hit his shot, and he does. A bit of an awkward fight for him, but ultimately he wins it. And Rise, they should be able to take the lead back.
Man, he wearing all black, tucked in a corner. He got blue around him as well. Ain't nobody gonna see his Acells, folks, okay? He even pulled out his flash to have a little bit of yellow there to blend in. He's thinking next level, folks. It's the grand finals. Now, with a drop shot in hand, he's gonna choose to back up. He can get an active. He's just waiting for his squad to group up. But does Rise know? Do they remember that he has to drop? He's marked up, so I think they do. But where's the focus? 2 players move up the stairs without being contested. Icy picks up 1 with the help of Rushiez, but he needs to be saved by DeToX, and he will not be. So once again, VQ, they break through. They have the lead, and now with them on series point, all pressure is on Rise.
Precision just popped off, ladies and gentlemen. That was all Precision on that plat fight. Granted, VQ already had the hill, but Precision needed to win that engagement. He takes the 1v2, and he takes it well. Now, Rise was able to accumulate quite a few points. This was the hill that they went into off the first rotation, Blaze. They were down 60 points, but they were able to close the gap. This is the time that they need to shine. These next coming hills is where Rise was successful off of the last rotation, but VQ, will they capitalize more so? Now on the second rotation, the possibility is there, but I like how Rise has split themselves out. You're gonna have 2 definitive 2v2s, and the first one is underway right in front of you.
These next 2 hills, Rise got a lot of success off of, but they're going to lose a player here towards the back. DeToX knows that Precision is weak, but that pistol from Precision is precise. The kill, the revive, the man advantage for Vanquish, looking to be nullified by some great plays from Avexys. He is back with his teammate, knowing that that player from VQ can get revived on the inside. A beautiful flash to help his squad mate out. But with 3 members of VQ in front of them, they have the slight height advantage, and they're collecting a lot of time. Misroll for Hndles. Rise trying to capitalize, and that's what they shall do.
Yep, Rise now. And they're closing the gap. They're closing the gap, and you mentioned a flank, though. It is going to be coming through, and Acells will be taken down, and DeToX also gets the drop shot. So he's going to have that, which is going to be phenomenal off the next hill. DeToX setting up with the nades himself. Rise has set themselves up for victory. At this point, VQ are going to have to work very hard, Blaze, if they want to win this map. But from what I can tell, from at least me being a spectator at this moment, I think we're going to round 8. We're going to the final map.
That's where he wanted to drop. DeToX is like, damn. Woo. But I got nades.
Yes, sir.
He picks up 1. He gets another kill.
Oh, he's dead. Zaisho's dead.
No way. His team. That's enough time to win. Yep. It's enough time to win off the hill.
Is
Player
it?
5 can close it out now. No, I can't do math. I take it back. We gotta go to next.
I was about to say, is it? But you know what? Rise is just a hair away from victory, Blade. Just a hair away from victory. And but, you know what? This is the hill they're gonna get it. But no, don't do that.
Juju out there.
Don't do the juju. Rise no bad juju. Rise got this.
They're vibing.
It's over. Hey, you got you're the vibe master. You're the vibe master. We're going map 9.
Map 9.
Yes, sir. Look at this. 300. 247. Yeah. Oh man, there it is, Blaze. Hey, did you not call it? Did you not call it, Blaze?
Chat, did I call it?
I think you called it. I think you called it. I think you called it, Blaze. Even producers saying you called it. I know I didn't call it. I'm not a wizard. Okay, I don't have a robe and a hat on, bro. I'm not a wizard. I'm not even deluxe.
Man, just give me a trophy that says Vibe Master, bro. Just give me a trophy that says Vibe Master, man.
I'm about to get you a sticky note writing. You can post it on your forehead and walk down the street, brother. At that point, man. But you are the Vibe Master. I give you that. I don't know what title, if it's really a title, that's crazy to brag about, a trophy worthy. But hey, you are the master. Let me give you this. You are the master at calling comebacks and predicting how a series is going to unfold. Unfortunately, it didn't work out when you bet 100K channel points during Challengers a couple of splits ago. But at least right now, hey,
and
you are
Sleeper
the
didn't
master.
make the Pro League. I'm upset. Sleeper was my, I love Sleeper, okay? But don't get me started. Keep going.
I'm not opening a can of words. Hey, look, PTSD is a real thing, brother. And I don't want to put that bad juju on you, okay?
Yeah, you triggered me a second ago. I was like, I did lose 100K.
I'll bring it back. I'm sorry for being so aggressive, but you did say you wanted more. But hey, Blaze, check it out. We got Execution Tomb. Execution Tomb. This is it for everything. We are going to have a champion after this final map.
Yeah, we are, okay? But how did we get here, folks? We got to set the stage. As Rise came through from the winners bracket finals with a 1-0 map lead. They take every single control in which they've played. But on the flip end, they're lucky that they had a 1 map lead and they took 3 controls, but they have not touched VQ in a round-mates game mode. They have lost 14 rounds in a row between Execution and Escalation. Can they do it now? Can they win their first round when we kick off on Tomb? Rise had their backs against the wall here. After the 200-point marker, they were down. VQ had a sound setup. You're about to see it in the replays here as well. Vanquish wanted to take this series now. Rise, they had sweat dripping off their forehead, dripping off their thumbs. But they thrive. They started to survive. They said, we will not give up. We want to be victorious. Rushiez and Icy, they said, hell, we came back from worse before. We've been to grand championships on the main stage. VQ can't compete with us. Well, we're about to find out as we head here into this map number 5. Rise not giving up, not faltering. One of the best grand finals that we had in damn near how long?
Long time.
I hope you're ready for this.
Hey.
Make it be known in the chat who you want to win. Who's gonna take it? I don't know who's gonna. I predicted VQ, but I don't know.
Hey. The fact that you predicted the final map,
round 9.
and you know what? That's all you needed to do. At this point, let Destiny play out as it should, Blaze. Let Destiny play out as it should. And just to set the precedence a little bit more, because, by the way, beautiful speech right there, brother. I'm telling you, it needs to go into Smithsonian with how historic that speech was. You set the tone, you set the pace, Blaze. But let me add a little cherry on top again. We started off this saying, Icy, Rushiez, they got a championship. Okay, Hndles, Precision, Acells, they've got a championship. But for Zaisho, he wants a championship. Okay, for DeToX and Avexys, they want championship. And I know Rise wants their first championship in Gears 5, Blaze. And this is here. This is the time to make history. Someone is getting their first championship on both rosters. One person's getting another championship added on both rosters too. Let's take that into account.
I tell you a few things, man. This would be so important for Rise. Like, if this is important for both these squads, okay, let's not get it twisted, but the storyline of victory for each one. For Vanquish, it's coming through the losers bracket.
That's true.
Down a map.
And that never happens.
Losing to this team early on a day. Having to put yourself in a scenario that you've never been in before and try to overcome. But on the flip end, DeToX and Avexys, they've never been here before either.
That's right.
Rushiez, Icy, yeah, they've been here before, but not when it comes down to 3 different game modes. Not in this long. Definitely not Rushiez. Icy may have been here with multiple game modes in Gears of War 3 when he was a champion.
But was it a best of 9?
When it comes down to Rise to winning their first, when they have a history of blowing away leads, falling short, choking series, they rose to the occasion and says, no, we're going to round 9 if we lose this one, a map number 9 if we lose this one.
All right, well, look here.
They're here.
Hey, they're here.
Both squads.
They're here.
In the flow state, playing at the best, folks.
Now,
let's get it, man. It's map number 9. Man, Taylor, get us in here, bro.
Hey, let me get you. I'm gonna set the. Let me set the mood lighting right for you, okay? VQ's got more experience on Tomb and Pro League. They really do, but more experience means they played it more. Now, pulling it back, and of course, that that's how grand finals have to go. We're trying to set the mood lighting. I got the mood lighting in the back, but unfortunately, but you know what? It's fine. Let's just keep it going. VQ has more experience on Tomb and Pro League than that of Rise. Rise didn't play Tomb once. We set that tone whenever we cast it over Rise versus Hive during the winners bracket, okay? By the way, Rise won that 6-2. So they showed, hey, they're a great team on Tomb, at least against Hive. Now, let me take it a step back. VQ, as I said, played it plenty of times in Pro League, but it doesn't mean that they were winning it in Pro League. In fact, they lost way more than they won. I think they played it a total of 4 times, and they won once. So, yeah, they got experience, but were they learning from that experience? Were they learning from those L's? And history, there, at least on the stats, says, no, they weren't. They weren't learning from those L's. So tonight they've been dominating execution, but that doesn't mean they're going to dominate Tomb, because Tomb has really never played. Let's be real.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't. Okay, forget the stats. Okay, forget them. And I'm going to tell you why. All right, when it comes down to this fantastic, beautiful map made by the great Strangulate, Gears of War Hall of Famer champion, when it comes down to playing multiple game modes, it's made into it's pretty much 4 individual 1v1s. And what I love about this being in this map 11, that it's going to be an individual player who makes the team, who tries to make the play for the squad. And we're going to figure out who that is. Currently it's looking like Hndles, as he's trying to set the pace of the round, trying to take out Avexys and DeToX.
Oh, DeToX. Oh, Rushiez! Yo, where'd he come from? Where'd he come from?
If he would have got the turnaround, if he could have got that revive and that turnaround on the round, that would have been sick. But
where did Rushiez come from? Is he the wizard now?
Narnia, look at it.
He came from the closet, from Narnia, bro. That's the reference. It came from Narnia, okay? You had to go through the wardrobe. There you go. Look at this. Slow-mo and everything. Also getting the pickup, too. And let's not forget, Icy also winning his 1v on the other side.
All right. Beautiful, beautiful round here for Rise to kick this one off. But head here into round number 2. This could go down to round 11. If it does, I'll be surprised. As DeToX, you know that he's going to take over when there's a sniper on the map. He needs to clean up the kill, but he gets the scope. Whose wig is going to be the first to get knocked off?
The wig splitter.
Not too many options. This Hndles precision. Pick your poison. But DeToX, knowing he got help, he says, bro.
Hndles won. Hndles isn't going to get it, though. He may have wanted it, but it doesn't mean you're going to get it. And Precision's gone, and Rise takes a 2-0 lead. But if you remember, Blaze, if you remember on Clocktower, they had a 2-0 lead. But then that's where everything started to fall apart, because VQ started lighting a fire. And then the force was ablaze, and then all of a sudden they took the win. So let's just keep that in the back of our mind.
We got to. We definitely have to. Rise with a 2-round lead here. 4 rounds away from becoming champions for the first time in Gears of War 5. We're breaking out here into round number 3. Is Icy versus Acells, the powerhouses for both their squads and execution. Beautiful angle from Icy to help out DeToX. He's pressed up too. You know DeToX will forever press up towards his underpass, but the angles that he get for his team, like he has angles on Acells. Hndles can't move up right now either, and that alleviates some pressure towards the mid-map just because he's in this position here. He can honestly go for a quick pick too, and I don't think Zaisho will be able to stop him. If he sees Zaisho reload, shoot his gun, or do anything, it's going to be a quick pick to a back roll, and Rise is going to have an advantage. He don't even shift in shoulders. DeToX is going to go for it. Because he's like, yo, I don't know what my teammates is doing, but I'm going to figure out some way to make a play here.
Okay, finds the angle and Hndles. Avexys picks up the shot. Avexys needs to join DeToX now. He needs to throw that out, connect on to Zaisho, go for the pick on the snipe, and take control of mid.
He needs to flash. Avexys needs to flash Zaisho for the pickup on snipe.
There's the shock. Shock's out. Where's it at? It's under Precision in the background. They're going for torque.
No, they're not.
Where are they going? They going mid?
I don't know. I don't know why that shock was there. But they need to do something about Zaisho so DeToX can make a play. That's all I'm saying.
Rushiez.
Rushiez with the pickup and a down. Now can Icy save him? He's running. He needs to play for the kill.
But
the chunk is there. Reinforcements come through. Another kill comes through on Avexys. Icy goes down, and Rise will crumble in this round. DeToX can't make the play in VQ. They're going to dodge all of Rise's efforts to finally get on the board. But yeah, Taylor, man, I think Zaisho, with DeToX being up as far as he is, Acells won't make a play on him. Hndles ain't gonna do nothing, and Precision is too far away. So if you can just make Zaisho shaky a little bit, DeToX gets sniping, he'll win you the round.
Now, but still, that shock should have been influential. And Avexys throws it long, but they don't try to even capitalize off of it whatsoever. But it looks as if we're going to have a more definitive move for the Torque. But Acells wants this, but he's marked. He's marked and he's down. Rushiez goes in, but it might be a trap. It's still a 1v2, brother. You do not want to take this, and Rushiez gets away.
Yeah, Rushiez knows that is not his fight. He knows how to stay alive, but the twerk bow picked up for VQ. Whoop! That's going to be a man advantage for them now with 4 left in the chamber. No snipe picked up for DeToX just yet. He wants it. He knows now is the time to get it, but from afar, Precision knows he's thinking about it. It's going to be Zaisho shutting down DeToX. He can't make a move just yet. Hndles gets it down. Precision gets a kill. And VQ, 1 kill away from tying us all up 2-2.
Oh, the beatdown. Hey, like I said on Clocktower, Rise had the 2-0 lead, and then VQ started doing things like this plays. My worry is VQ is now going to just take off and just run with this.
Where the VQ fans at?
They're out there. You guys are real. VQ get loud. VQ get loud. Seriously. Rise is going for their first championship, and VQ's like, I don't care about that.
Rise was the loudest fans, no?
Who?
I thought Rise had the loudest fans, no?
Oh, you know what? I mean, if you really want to be technical, I think E United's got the loudest fans, but at this point, Rise, you need to be even louder.
We ain't got, man, don't be mentioning E United. We ain't got no United fans in the chat right now, okay? E United fans are either Rise or Vanquish fans right now.
For accuracy
at this point, you know, probably on the VQ side, if anything.
Okay, well, let's find out who has the loudest fans. Get loud in chat, because this is Grand Finals final map, guys. And I honestly, I needed this after that F&I EU Grand Finals I had in the Spring Major, so this is great. This is fun. 4-3, Rise finally takes the advantage.
DeToX wins this fight against Zaisho. Both power weapons in the hands of Rise. After losing 2 rounds in a row, it's great to get the momentum back in their favor. As long as they don't turtle, they are hitting their shots. Oh, here's a player from VQ. Acells moves in, but Rise, stay composed. It's all up to Precision in a 1v3. He needs it down now, but Icy backs up. Avexys moves in.
A little bait and switch.
Yeah, you got to. He's doing a fantastic job playing his cover, but Rise knows not to rush it, folks. Shit, this is, I didn't think we were going to go to round 11. It's looking like it, but surely not,
calling
right?
It? You calling
surely it? Surely not. I'm not officially.
Not officially yet? Give it a couple rounds. Let it breathe, right? Give it a couple rounds. We'll see how it plays out.
60%. I kind of feel it 60%. 60%. I might go around 11.
All right.
When I feel 75 or 80, I'll make the call out.
Okay.
But most importantly, if we go to a best of 9 final map, round 11,
hey,
what
it's
the
perfect.
hell?
I mean, it's poetic. Write a book about it.
For our
Write a novel.
Multi-game mode event.
I'll voice over it.
What a time to be alive, folks. You're here watching a UMG Gaming. I hope you're having a great time as DeToX is looking to put on a show. Great usage of the smoke for Rise. DeToX did not get the body shot, but he has plenty of angles. Zaisho trying to get aggressive here, but DeToX will be able to back up, stay alive. He's getting marks from his teammates, but maybe he goes up top.
Good body shot. Going up top wouldn't be a bad idea, getting those frags right. But for Precision and Zaisho, they're lucky, Blaze, because DeToX has gave both of them haircuts. And in fact, DeToX has body checked Zaisho already, but it's still a 4v4. It's still a 4v4, but it's gonna be it's almost impossible with where DeToX is at. He wanted that headshot too.
He saw a horn.
He saw the horn, but he didn't sound off, unfortunately. So Rise is gonna back off a little bit. DeToX is gonna be up top. Zaisho picks up the nades.
Nah.
He's got to watch his corner. He's got to watch his right. He has to know DeToX is here.
Yeah, he does. He definitely knows it. DeToX, can he make the play? He baits out a nade, and I think that's a win in my book. But is this next hill going to be up top or down low? 1 shot left in the scope. 2 members of VQ up top. Ooh, DeToX, he knew he got 1 shot left. Don't miss your chance to blow. 1 opportunity.
You already got your Eminem reference earlier, brother. No, you only get 1 of those in a broadcast, man. You only get 1 of those in a broadcast. Yeah, that's it. Just 1.
I'm feeling it today.
Okay. Eminem, I know what you're listening to after this, brother, to calm down a little bit or maybe get more hyped up. Great shot onto Zaisho. He's gone. The shock held. 10 seconds for overtime. Icy has the torque bow. DeToX has the snipe, and this is a winning spot. Big, at least splash damage coming out from Acells. Rise starting to move forward.
Don't shoot your teammate.
And VQ could still win this.
DeToX needs to do something wide. He hit some good shots. Oh no. Vanquish for the tie.
Oh, yes.
Vanquish for the tie.
Hold up. What's going on? It's Scrappy. Rise gets the hill, though.
No,
they
here
get the
comes
cap.
Rise.
Yep, they get the cap. They get the cap. That's it. They're up 4-2. They're up 4-2, and Rise played that well. Look, it's hard to play against a snipe and a torque bow in that case. VQ made a good argument that they could make it happen, but ultimately it just wasn't meant to be. But one thing is for certain, as we have, you know, continued on and kind of got a grasp, because like I said, we don't see too often in competitive gears. We did in the beginning, but towards it started to kind of trail off towards the end. But one thing is for certain for VQ, you got to handle DeToX. DeToX is the X factor. You got to get him out of the way.
Yeah, you definitely do, but DeToX is always going to put himself between you and whatever plans you have to start the round. He says, you shall not push me out at all, as he's in the grill of Vanquish, as he can smell the series point, as he picks up these kills. 4v2 advantage, but Acells finds one. He gets the torque bow. It was looking sweet for Rise. He misses one. Icy backing up, but Acells knows that DeToX will play for the bow eventually, so he wants to keep the sight line, but can he make a play?
That's it!
2v2! Rise had a 4v2 to go to series point, but they blow it, and now Vanquish looking to stay alive. No snipe picked up at all either. VQ just needs to play their advantages, their numbers, but DeToX make it caught out.
They just got to they got to slow down. They've got to slow down, reset a little bit, stop DeToX from getting the snipe. That's the big thing, right? DeToX is your X factor for Rise, the man that makes it happen. I do believe he's also the kill leader so far for his roster. He has to be, at least with how well he's been playing. Vanquish choosing to take that top side position before Rise. It's going to be great because now Precision gets the frags. Wherever that overtime hill is going to be, Precision with the frags is going to make them feel a lot more comfortable. And as they do rotate over where Snipe is going to be, you have to assume the overtime hill is going to be just up ahead. But again, oh no, you let DeToX get the snipe? That can't happen.
But he's getting pressed on the right. He knows it. He dodges one nade.
He's
eyes in the back of his head.
He's hitting
a 1v1 is getting pressed on the other side by player 6. He missed roll. Or did he fake a shock? I don't know the way that he's playing. He's thinking a few steps ahead of where I can cast right now. This round is so important. Can Rise do it?
Hops off because the nade. Trying to pace this out versus Precision. It's Nasher versus Nasher. 2v2. Rise gets into Acells, gonna drop, and there's DeToX hitting the shot. I thought it was gonna be a snipe, but I was a little bit wrong. I'm not Luxtradamus, but it was 5-2 now for Rise. They are on map point, series point, and this is a big moment for Rise fans everywhere.
Man, I gotta say, Acells and Precision, man, just staying alive as long as they did. They did a fantastic job, but here we go. Rise needs one more round. VQ, they need to play perfect. Coming from the losers bracket, no more mistakes for them in this tournament. Rise has no more saving graces. They just need to close this one out. DeToX looking to get the sniper and pick it up quickly. Has Avexys close by, but Zaisho gets one. Meat shield for the melee. Gets two. VQ looking good in this round. 4v2 advantage. They need to build off of this.
No way! He connects on the pixel of Acells, brings it down to a 2v3. Blaze saying, hell no, I agree, but it's hell yes at this point. And Zaisho, on the other side, you got Rushiez. And this is going to be such a big connection for Zaisho and Rushiez in general, but you got to favor Zaisho because he doesn't have that charge up time. The active's in.
Oh, man.
And he's going for it. Blaze, you can't
even breathe
at this point.
I'll take long shot torque bow any day of the week. I'll take long shot versus anything any day of the week. I think it's the superior power weapon, but you do got some to go boom, but to each their own. With nades being picked up, both for Vanquish, frags and shocks, I think this neutral hill is gonna go right in front of torque bow. Rushiez only has 2 left. He can't miss. Somewhat little time on the clock, folks. This can come down to this. Take a breather.
You let this breathe right now. Just let it breathe, man. Let's catch our breath. We don't need anybody passing out right now.
30 seconds on the clock. Here we go. Chat, get ready. On the edge of your seat.
Just make it or break it.
VQ looking to move in. It's a 3v2. Rushiez with 2 torques in his name to go big. Dodges one nade.
He can get Zaisho here.
15 on the clock. VQ saved the other.
He can get Zaisho
should be
here.
A VQ round. But Rushiez and Icy, champions, back to back in gears 5.
That shot, Rushiez is down. Rushiez is down. VQ's got this round. Precision's out of the way. Icy's moving up. There's no way. There's just no way. And Icy, I believe, but in that moment, it was just going to be too impossible. And VQ stays alive a little bit longer. Now, you said 60% before. You said 60% before. Well, are we at like 75, 80 now? Or are we still around 60? Are we even lower?
With Rise being at series point, I ain't even trying to piss off the Rise fans, but we might go there.
Oh, you scared now? You scared to chat? You scared to piss people off now all of a sudden?
No, I want a round 11.
Okay.
Rise is in position. Everything is in favor of them, but if Rise loses, I'd say it like this. If Rise loses this round, we go to round 11. I give it to you like that.
If Rise loses the round, we go round 11. Like I think that's fair.
I'm confident in that one. If Rise loses this round, we're going to round 11.
Blaze, you got to get rid of DeToX. Zaisho knows this. DeToX tries to take that advantage.
Nobody knows how to deal with DeToX
though.
here because some of these players back up for the shot grenade, and DeToX, that little damage that he puts out on Hndles, sometimes it's enough for him to get in there and get the quick pick on the scope if he wanted it.
Well, Zaisho would just bait and switch though and then start lancering him down. He knows that, so he can't go for the pick at the moment. Because if Zaisho gets shot, Hndles is going to step up to the plate and get his cross. But then now it's important for Rise, specifically for player 4 or player 3 to do that. But they're going to double team the Torque Bow, but Precision's going to make his way out. He's going to get out, and an immediate connection onto Icy. It's going to be brought down to a 3v4. DeToX is going to go ahead and push over, but Rushiez, watch out! He goes over cover. He's dead. He's gone. DeToX last alive. And not a lot he can do other than force his issue onto Zaisho, but you knew it was over with. And here we go. You said if Rise loses this round, we're going to round 11.
I said it. I know. It's going to be crazy, y'all. We got maximum of 2 rounds left in our grand finals. It's been a long one. We went the distance with 9 maps. One of the best tournaments we've ever had. 2 rounds left. Can Vanquish force the round 11?
They're gonna have
We're about to find out right now.
They're
Taylor, take us in.
They're gonna have to. This is it. Round number 10. Shocks are in the hands. One's been thrown out. DeToX not able to get undercover just yet. The shock will stop him in his tracks. Meanwhile, though, nobody wanting to make the move for the Torque just yet. It's going to be a 2v2 on that end of the map. Meanwhile, you have your standard 1v1s in the mid. But something tells me DeToX is about to pick up this snipe. And that is a really well thrown and pushes Acells back. And this should get positioning for the snipe.
Yeah, quick revive. Icy slides in. DeToX is there. He's like, thanks, Nick. I'm out. I got this for the squad.
Good team
Just hold
revive.
my beer.
Good team revive. Acells immediately goes up top. This is the first time.
That was smart to get up top. He even throws a smoke just in case. Now VQ can play for the final hill. They don't have to make any crazy moves. Right. They just need to make sure they don't get sniped. For DeToX, I think the nades could be the most important weapon here. I don't know if the neutral hill is going to go to this side. Rushiez gets the Torque Bow. He gets out. But the respect for DeToX is rightfully so on the side of VQ. I'm not peeking if I'm him. Let Rushiez move around. Let both of these guys work together. Find some kills here. But by them having these frag grenades, I think that's their win condition.
Well, you look at Clocktower, Blaze. How many times did the frag grenades benefit that of VQ? I mean, just so many times. Totally different playstyle, different map. But with the hill looking as if it's going to be up top, those frags are going to be absolutely critical for shutting down the push from Rise. And quite honestly, wherever the hill is going to be, which you see, Rise is going to be rotating up top. Plus, you get the shock. So the shocks need to be spaced out and placed properly. Don't just throw it out randomly. You can't do that. So Hndles finds the pixel, and that's what I was worried about. But Avexys takes the opportunity to push up.
This shot came up just short. The Torques are missed.
VQ's in it. VQ's going for the cap. They can't get there. They peeked out Icy and Rushiez. We're going to round 11.
Let's go. Folks, it comes down to this. It's your last chance to give your favorite team your energy. They need it. We're here. I told you if they won that round, we were coming. Rise has struggled with closing out series like this, but if they win this grand finals, I guarantee you Rise will skyrocket into a squad that we've never seen before. They could be that next dynasty, but they have to get over this hump. Precision with a quick Torque Bow pick. The revive is there. Multiple Lancer fire coming through from Rise. VQ survive, but But now, Rushiez maybe played up a little bit too close as he disengages here. The hunt comes through.
He needs the trade.
He
needs a trade. He gets the
but
trade.
The stun rep shot comes through. Icy finds a kill. 3v2 for Rise. 2v2 on the map. Only power weapon in the hand of Zaisho. Does not connect with the body shot. And this needs to slow down. But he calls it out. They're going to push Icy.
2v2. Body shot in, but of course the health regeneration comes through as well. A little bit of a reset. Some breathing room will in fact ensue and take place.
I need breathing room.
At this point, this is the final round, ladies and gentlemen. The final round. It all comes down to this. The hard work throughout the mid-split playoffs. And this is going to be between Icy and Rushiez, like you said, and Zaisho and Hndles. And Zaisho wants his first championship. You better believe that. Trying to catch that angle up.
Rushiez has been here before on the biggest stages of Gears of War.
But Zaisho's just focused on one round.
Players out there. But Zaisho with a snipe in his hand. How bad does he want his first grand championship?
Here it comes. Oh, missing the shot just to the left of Icy. Forced to back up. Overtime starts in 30 seconds.
Is such a good teammate.
But Rise is getting positioning on the overtime hill. They have the positioning. Zaisho may have the snipe. He's going to try and bait out anyone to peek and poke their head out. But at this point, Rise has positioning. Here we go.
10 seconds. It comes down to this.
This is it.
No stalemates, folks.
This is it.
Who's going to step into the hill first? Zaisho cannot miss a body shot.
We'll have
he
a
just
winner
needs
in
to
10
put out
seconds.
damage. Icy will hop over. Unless they go for a stalemate. Actually,
could happen.
Rise may be playing for the
Oh,
stalemate.
here it goes. Rushiez goes in. The snipe's going to be missed. You got to get it onto the hill. You got to take Rise out. It's going to be VQ maybe, but Icy's got to win. Icy's got to win, and he does it. Zaisho clutches up, and VQ are going to be your MSP champions for Split 3, and it came down to the wire, but Zaisho is your hero. Well played, the VQ.
One of the only players in the lobby without a championship, and he took the game over in his own hands. Zaisho, the most valuable player for this squad when they needed him the most. VQ can rely on him. The fans can rely on him. Get that man a jersey. Put him in history. Vanquish, your champions of the mid-split playoffs.
And make no mistake, a heartbreaking loss for Rise fans everywhere. To be so close to your first championship, yet so far away. But Vanquish played so very well. And like you said, Zaisho, he wanted that chip. He wanted that championship, and he took the opportunity, and he grasped at it.
Wow.
And now the trophy is his. So well done. 25,000 going to VQ. And, but I mean, like you've been saying, Blaze, one of the best grand finals we have seen in a very, very long time.
Ooh. I rarely see players like that.
Yeah.
Who take over a game, who take their history in their hands. They say, I ain't gonna rely on nobody else. I want to be a champion. I want to be the best. I want to make the play. Zaisho embodied that. And what he did today was fucking special, folks. Okay, I can't even sugarcoat it. It was special what he did for VQ. This victory was everything for Vanquish. I'm hurt for Rise. They had every opportunity, but as I said, that demon of them not closing out series and having these advantages, it haunts them.
Yeah.
And they need to take care of that one if they want to be a champion. But VQ, they made history today.
Made history. Right, came into this with the narrative, Blaze, that over the past, 3 or 4 majors and mid-split playoffs, we've had different champions. Okay, we've had VQ, obviously, from the major, one of the majors just a while ago. Then you go forward and you MSP champions, you had Hive, right? And then you had, of course, respectfully, E United during the spring major. Who was going to be the new champion, or who was going to be the repeating champion? And we had a lot of questions for that. But VQ said, that is going to be us. We are going to be at least for right now, for Gears 5, at least since we transferred to online, right? We are going to be the back-to-back. We're not back-to-back, but at least, 2-time champions. And man, they made it happen. But seriously, like you said, not sugarcoating it, precision, or excuse me, Zaisho, to do what he just did, the nerves of steel. It came down to a scrappy overtime hill. Rise made the move. They made the move, much respect to them, and they had to make that move. But the fact that Zaisho, ice in his veins, made that play to take the 1v2 and win it was just, I mean, it's poetic. We've been hyping up Zaisho and saying his addition to the roster of VQ changed the DNA. I thought Bronny was good, and Bronny was good for what it was worth. Third place in the Spring Major was incredible. But you add Zaisho to the roster, and their skill ceiling just goes through the roof.
There's levels to it, okay? Zaisho, man, he's gonna go down as one of the best in history, folks, okay? And you're gonna look back on this tournament, his first season with this Vanquish squad. You're gonna look back on their first place Pro League performance. You're gonna look back on how he changed the DNA of this squad. Vanquish is looking to be that new dynasty, and they got the roster to do it. One of the best support players, one of the best slayers,
and IGL
one of the best
too.
1v1 players, one of the best IGL, and they got a player who is an accumulative of all of that in Acells. Sheesh.
Look at that. Wins the 1v2, Blaze. Look at the fact, did you see how long he aimed down sights, Blaze?
He hit shots.
He hit every pellet.
Shots.
Most players right there are freaking out. They're freaking out. They're dancing around. He stands 10 toes down, stands his ground, aims down sights with the Nasher, and hits every pellet.
He was sitting there on top of that hill like Excalibur. He couldn't be budged. He couldn't be pulled. He says, "I shall not move. You are not worthy of this crown." Call him King Arthur at this point, folks. Zaisho, he's a legend.
Hey, you know what? But let's talk about what was special about this grand final in general, though. You had two teams that had to make some big changes. We already covered Zaisho, right? Zaisho coming to the fold and doing what he just did, obviously incredible. It pays up dividends, your champion. But let's talk about Rise, though, and what makes them special, too. Rise has had their struggles, in the previous splits. They really have. We know that. Franchise retires. That is a big loss you take, okay? Because he is one of the most dominant IGLs. He's been a pro in every single title. To lose him, it hurts, but Rise picks up DeToX. And the DNA changes. Rushiez is able to get loose. Icy just becomes an animal. DeToX is just one of the best players. MVP pretty much every single map. But for Rise then to prove themselves after Fran, because there's a lot of questions. How is Rise going to, come on. There has to be a lot of questions when a legend like Fran leaves. But they made it to grand finals.
I like this Rise team, man. I like this Rise team. I wanted to see them win today. I just wanted them to do it.
I'm just saying it's special in general. That they're here in grand finals. That they were this close. I know they're not going to be happy with it. Come on, they're champions.
Hell no. But I didn't predict them to win, and I'm not happy about it, bro.
But Blaze, they made a massive roster change and lost one of the most influential pros in Gear's history, and they still made it to grand finals, round 11, final map.
They did.
That's an accomplishment. They're not happy with it, I know. But I'm just saying, congratulations. That is a big accomplishment for such a massive change to be where they were. Rise fans should still be happy.
And Rise deserves all those congratulations, okay? They do. They deserve that love. But at the end of the day, they just got to take this and get better.
Yeah, 100%. I'm shaking. I'm not going to lie. I'm literally shaking. I mean, I'm not even playing, but that was just absolutely incredible. Blaze, let's run through the bracket and just recap everything as a whole because, we didn't have many game fives, but we did have some big wins and some big losses in general. Just from what you can see right here, what was the biggest standout to you?
Man, the biggest standout for me throughout this entire bracket on our screen... the only real surprise was I guess the grand finals of VQ coming out on top. I mean, because Vanquish and Rebel, Rise and Hive, those 3-0s were great. I think the winners finals, I expected more out of VQ. Yeah. If I had to give any surprise, it was that series. I thought Rise was going to be coming from the loser side of the bracket. But VQ started off so flat today. Yep. So flat.
100%. They look bad.
But outside of that, man, everything else was normal. We just had the best grand finals that we've ever seen.
You don't see teams come from losers finals or losers bracket in general and win. Like, it happens. It does happen. But That is just big. I'm so impressed and over the moon with how well that all played out. But I mean, yeah, I guess that is the biggest one, the biggest surprise. And like you said, for VQ to start off so sluggish, but then to finish so strong is just absolutely incredible. And we got to talk about our final standings and kind of highlight every team that ended up making it to the money. And obviously VQ on top, 25 grand going to them. Rise with 13 grand, not a bad payday whatsoever. Fire and Ice with third. They do fall a little bit in standings when it comes to their spring major performance to MSP, but still on top. You got to respect them. But the biggest thing for me is PK in fourth. Talk about flipping the script, brother.
Hey, I'm surprised they made it to fourth, to be honest with you. But it's still a step back, and they're taking steps back. They go from consistently placing second to getting third at the last event to getting fourth now. Now, when it comes down to the Knights, we said at the last portion of the Pro League, they started to pick up their gameplay. And in the losers bracket, they had a dominant performance, and they choked their series against Fire and Ice. They could have kept moving forward, but just a little bit too late. Fire and Ice was definitely the better team, the more consistent team throughout the league. And I'm expecting to have a better performance out the Knights. At least I'm hoping for it when we go back into the next split. But shout out to Oxygen. Disappointed for E United in the 7th and 8th. Hive, they kind of held face a little bit. They were your defending Misfit playoff champions, and they just couldn't catch fire on Saturday. But when it was all said and done, man, we had two teams that gave us an amazing grand finals.
Amazing grand finals. And hey, chat, thank you so much for being here, okay? I saw you guys out there supporting your team
chat.
after Blaze riled
you guys are awesome.
Beautiful.
Ozuna loves you.
Hey, Ozuna is, hey, you finally owned it up to it, baby. You love to see it. Ozuna loves you.
We're twins.
Hey, fair enough, man.
Me and Ozuna need to take a picture one day. I need to make that my profile picture.
No, we need
to get Jacob
Ozuna
to set it up.
cast with Ozuna. Like, we just need that to take place.
I'm going to the XSEC compound, and we're going to do it from there. I don't know who's casting Pro League that day, but I'm kicking them off. It's going to be me, PR, and Ozuna.
Period. I'm stepping down. Colin's stepping down. Jacob's stepping down. The executive decision's been made. If you get Ozuna to cast with you, Pro League is Ozuna and Blaze, a.k.a. Ozuna, okay? It just has to take place. It's been an incredible tournament, Blaze, without question. Magical moments have been made, and Zaisho gets his first chip, where the others, of course, get one more stacked up and added on. And there is no question that VQ is the best NA team in the world, because clearly the best team in the world in general, not even just NA. They are incredible. Before we get out of here, Blaze, I'm going to pass it to you for your final words.
My final words is, as you already said, shout out to all the fans out there who came through and helped make this broadcast something special. You know, we're still holding our events online. I wish this was online. We all do, but we have survived, and we have also thrived here throughout a COVID season. And most importantly, shout out to UMG Gaming, Ryan Fools, and everybody else who helped make this amazing program and get us to this spot. Multiple game modes added. We had Shawnee and TC talk about all the amazing things that's coming out of Operation A. We know that Gears of War is being supported for another season, and we also know that everything is getting better. We just watched one of the best grand finals. Are you not excited at home? Do you think you can do what Zaisho did, making history? Well, come out here and play. Okay, go out there towards the Challenger Series. Shout out to Hunting Season and Spike Gaming, our two newest teams in a Pro League. But if you feel like you got what it takes to play against the best, come prove it. Talking and come prove it.
Absolutely. Put your money where your mouth is. Hey, it has been an incredible weekend, and we owe it to you guys for being out there in chat. Hit that follow button if you haven't already. It's all love, baby, and Gears is on the up and up. Congratulations to VQ, but also congratulations to Rise. For myself, Taylor, Reflections, Noble, Guy, Blaze, Colin, the Crow, Clark, Jacob, MVPR, production team, and you in chat, thank you for joining us for the mid-split playoffs for Split 3, and make sure to join us when Pro League starts up once again. We'll see you guys later.